for Facebook reasons.
You have to do it within like 5 minutes of your start time?
Yeah.
I can't find the thread on my text for some reason.
No.
It's in...
I know where it is. It's just none of my messages are in here.
Oh, okay. I'll send it to you again. Give me 1 second.
I mean, none of my messages at all from today are on here. It's weird.
Here, let's see.
Just once, I want Matt Jones to show up in the chat and say, "Hey, Eric, happy Friday." Not, "Hey, Jarrett." Not, "Hey, Jarrett."
Oh, man.
Not Jarrett.
What do you say?
Eric.
Oh, hey. Matt is a Chuck E. Cheese dude. He's not. He's here to hear my voice.
I've been to Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
Nobody believes that.
Matt, say hello to Eric, please.
Multiple times.
All right.
I'm sick of that place.
No, you're not.
Guys, we're about to start. Thanks for being here. A little bit different things. We're going to shake things up. I have hated starting with a clip since we started the show. And I want to wait for clips until we start talking about the movie. So we're going to just play the theme. We're going to jump right into the podcast. And we'll see how it goes. See?
Look at all the love.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Laura and Deborah.
Well, he asked you how Friday's going.
Oh, Friday's great. You got to get down on Fridays.
Yeah. You have to, right?
Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Friday. All right, here we go. Greetings, everyone. My name is Jarrett Reddick, and this is a podcast. It's called Jarrett Goes to the Movies. Each week, we get together and talk about a movie that we watched that week, plus whatever the hell else is on our minds. And we're glad you're here. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's a podcast called Jarrett Goes to the Movies. I literally just said that in the theme. You may notice we're not starting with a clip this week. We're going to try to move the clips all to when we start talking about the movie. And that way everything stays in context. Also, it saves us from having to talk for 30 minutes about the first clip after having... Do I have to really give a reason, Eric, while we're doing this? I'm just going to say this is...
It seemed like you felt the need to give a reason. Nobody was pressuring you to do that.
You're right. That was on me. And maybe I was just feeling a little self-conscious
I also felt
about
pressured by Eric for you to do that.
You did?
No. I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bad idea in the first place.
You did?
You wouldn't have felt that pressure.
You say anything earlier then?
You shouldn't have put the pressure on like that.
Yeah.
I texted Sean.
Oh, okay.
Why is he doing this?
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what I tell everybody. If you got, what do we do about this? Fuck if I know. Text Sean.
Ask Sean.
That's why he's here, so that I don't have to decide anything ever.
Just make it where I just show up and look pretty, Sean.
Yeah.
Speaking of pretty, Mandy Pretty's in the thing, and she got her hair done. She was my first client
Yay.
post-quarantine today.
Bet she was.
We love Mandy Pretty, and I bet she looks great. And when quarantine's over, please come visit again. Quarantine seems to be letting up a little bit. It's Eric did trivia this week, and Casey went back to work today, and some things we're starting to move around a little bit. Our friend who is in the emergency room business is saying that they are definitely not having the amount of cases that they thought that they could or might. So it looks like the world is gonna be fine, at least for now.
It's like a movie. It's like flash forward 6 months, and like everybody's
fire.
Everybody's on fire.
We're all
What was that movie we watched with Will Smith?
Yeah, I Am Legend.
Yeah,
it's that.
Yeah, what was the deal? Why wasn't he dead? Because he was immune to it?
Yeah.
Because he had the antibodies in his blood.
Got it. The antibodies in his body.
But he wasn't getting his face eaten off or something.
Right. Now, welcome everybody again. I'm super glad that you were here. And now let me ask you this, Eric. Well, first of all, with me as always is Eric. Well, it's an audio podcast.
Well, you're not going to play you always play the little clapping thing, but not today. So that's fine. Sean, cut that out and let's try it again.
I did clap.
Okay, with
for
me,
you.
I didn't.
with me as always is Eric.
Hey, buddy. How?
That one?
No.
Well, you just got Eric.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Now, how are you, buddy?
I'm awesome, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic.
That was like into like a room on a sitcom.
It really
Hey, everybody, how you doing?
Yeah.
Clap, 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 clap.
And then
Oh
it's that awkward pause where they have to wait for everybody
Yeah.
to just shut the hell up
Yeah.
before they talk.
Oh, guys, it's the postman.
You should start using this.
Hiya, folks.
We'll start using
It's
that
me,
thing
the
that
postman.
way.
Huh?
We'll start using it that way.
What a ridiculous. No, but seriously, man, how are you?
I've been good. Work was busy this week, but that's nothing unusual. And so because I was talking to my father-in-law about this, our company spends a bunch of money every year going to these events that happen kind of worldwide, Mobile World Congress and Optical Networking World and all this nerdy shit. Well, we're not doing that this year. So all the money that was going to that is now being pumped into these digital experiences they want created. And so who does that fall on? Us.
Right.
And so it's just been super, super chaotic at the moment. But that is nothing to complain about compared to most and compared to a lot of people. So that's not bad news at all.
Things have been busy here as well. I see that Matt, I've got a couple of Chuck E. Cheese fans in the chat, and yeah, they're changing the way that they're doing a lot of stuff there, and because it's going to be a social distancing type thing for a bit, I guess, in the restaurant world. So
are you having to record like, "Hey kids, don't forget to wash your hands"?
pretty much, but I don't sound like that at all. But
That was a different character I've been workshopping.
oh, okay, got it. You almost
Charles.
like the clown on Billy Madison. Well, don't you think that I was dead?
No,
Like
this is,
that kinda
this is Greg Cheese.
Right, Greg Cheese. Well, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing all right. The kid's doing okay, and you know, are you guys getting out of the house as a family yet?
No, not quite yet. I did take Eller to his eye doctor today. He got out of the house and went and picked up Zoe, but we still don't go do anything with them yet. I mean, we play outside and we go walk around the neighborhood and stuff like that. We went fishing the other day, but we don't go anywhere really. Yeah, not just yet.
I got you. Well, you know, it's I think everybody needs to do it in their own time. My lovely wife Casey is here, and I know what you've been up
Hi,
to.
everybody.
Yeah, there she is. Oh, sorry. Wait, let me do this. Hey, everybody, welcome Casey to the show. What? Oh no, you say hi, everybody
It's
first.
too late now.
Okay, let's try.
It's over.
All right, here's my lovely wife Casey.
Hey. It still works.
Still like it.
Grumpy Casey. Now she's again. She went back to work today, and she's got a broken foot, and she's been a champ about it.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was all right. It was good. Like I said, I had Mandy Pretty. She's my favorite client.
Yeah.
First one. So that was a good start. I didn't have like an asshole or something. But yeah, it was good to be back. Weird. Good.
Yeah. I bet that is weird.
Was the whole place busy?
No, we're kind of staggering schedules and doing things like that. Try not to keep it packed full of people. So
do people seem kind of timid when they walk in? Like,
no.
No?
A woman on a mission to get that gray covered up
Yeah.
doesn't give a fuck. They're kicking at the door. Like,
yeah.
we have a door that literally has a giant sign in front of the door that says use other door. Like it's being blocked. It's not like a little sign. And people are just fucking moving it over and coming in that door. Like
Man.
people want their hair done.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing, right? You know,
Did.
yeah, hairs did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good. It's just different. You know, it's different protocol and wearing masks, and that's really strange. I feel like there's something, you know, you do a lot of literally speaking to somebody looking in a mirror, and now you don't, you know, you can't use facial expressions. That's just weird. Like,
Yeah.
but it's fine. It was good.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, do you guys feel like robberies are going to go up? You know, I mean, like, because
Yes.
you haven't been able to wear like a mask in a bank legally in a while.
Well, that
Yeah,
was the
well,
running joke. Right?
Yeah, we went to we stopped and I ran into a liquor store on the way up to the lake, and I was like, this is not legal. And like, there was just people just walking in, like faces covered. I'm like, I can't tell if someone's going to shoot us or if they're just trying
Well,
to get
now the people that are
some
wrong are the
Smirnoff
people
twists,
not wearing
some
masks.
Zimas.
Those are
Watch
the
out!
demons.
There's somebody unmasked in the bank.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
They're breathing that corona on you if you don't give them all the monies.
Yeah, I'm not an anti-masker like people are right now. There's people that decided that's their fucking cause. I don't know why that's the one right now. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a million that could just not be your cause. But
Yeah, weird hill to die on, but okay.
I know exactly. Like, that's the one you decided. You spent your whole life,
That was
built
it.
up the moment, decided to take a stand on wearing a fucking mask. But I'm for wearing a mask, but it is weird to wear one at work. It's just hot and blow dryers, and you're talking, right? And then it's just like
Yeah,
your own Chipotle breath. In
I
your
think
face.
just the ignorance behind the mask thing is the most frustrating, and there's just only a certain amount of comments you can make back towards it. But I just, with the people just going, I ain't wearing no mask. I don't care if I get this thing, and it's like,
It's not for
you're
you.
not for, you're not
nobody
wearing a
is.
mask for
Yeah,
you.
we don't
dipshit.
care if you get it either, you fuckhead.
Yeah.
Like, my grandma to get it. Like,
Right.
Casey
Jesus.
and I wore masks to go to Callaway's the other day, and I was chewing gum, which was nice because it had a nice minty smell inside.
Sure.
But then I went to go blow a bubble.
oh, she did. She
Oh.
blew up inside her
I
mask.
didn't even think. I looked over and I was like, I almost blew a bubble in this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you keep from doing that anyway?
Yeah.
And of course, Sean is behind the scenes. There he is.
Casey's mom.
How you doing, Sean?
Good. How are you
Good
guys?
mom, Sean.
Good. I'm doing good.
Good
You're just
mom.
quiet these days because you're so busy. Is it because you're so busy? Are you in a bad
Yeah.
mood all the time now?
I don't know. It's just weird.
Life is weird, isn't it?
No would have been an okay answer.
Yeah, that's what I was
How are
going
you
for.
handling? Like, it's weird being home all the time, or just weird? What's weird?
Like being with yourself.
When's
so
the
much.
last time you had round table pizza?
Me and Diego were on the phone yesterday talking about that.
Well, what's the answer?
With you.
Are you serious? They
With
have
you.
takeaway. Just go up there and fucking get it.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
other two
so you have one
locations
closer
just
to
opened
you
up
now.
this week. Yeah, it's
Sure.
over
So
by,
Round Table
like,
Pizza, for
Great
those of you who
Ranch
don't
off
know, is
121.
Sean's favorite pizza from back home in Sacramento. And they recently started opening up some stores here in Texas. They started down in Austin, and they just happened to open one kind of between the two of our houses. We spent his birthday there a couple years ago, and since then, anytime we want to have a business meeting, that's where we go. And but you were eating it twice a week, regardless, for a while, right? Man,
Yeah.
and not just nothing.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, dude.
Yep. I think the last time was me, you, and Matt.
Yeah,
You
I think
guys
we went
at
one
Target.
time after that, and I finally just stopped asking if they had hamburger because they're just out of it all the time, but it's still on the menu, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, I guess all the 7-year-olds ate it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why people aren't bringing their kids out in public anywhere. So they're like,
Yeah.
Fucking hamburger, man, it's so good, so delicious.
Why do they call it hamburger?
'Cause
Why
it's
isn't it
ground
just ground
beef.
beef?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess you.
Because
I
a
thi-
hamburger is ground beef in between buns.
yeah, that's right. Okay, well, yeah,
So put it
Sure.
in between a bun and call it a hamburger.
beef. I think some of them call
you know
it
what?
beef.
I do fold pizza, so I feel like if it's like going to be like bread,
So that would
cheese,
be your bread.
meat.
I
your
can
buns.
actually answer the question.
Okay.
Because they have meatballs too, and the meatballs is a completely different It really is ground beef,
Right.
but I think people would get confused. Like if you said beef, is it like ground hamburger meat or is it meatball? Because
Well,
both
meatball
those.
is seasoned.
Okay, that's a good
And
point.
has eggs in it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why are you yelling, both of
Okay,
you? By
First
the,
of all, nobody's yelling at you.
by the way, Amy Pittsinger is here.
Oh,
Everybody,
right.
give it up for her.
Hello.
Oh wait, shit! Everybody say Amy Pittsinger is here.
Hello, everyone.
I don't know.
I feel like it went extra
It's a
long.
pretty
for
good bit.
Susan.
It's a pretty good bit. I just need like different because you need one like somebody needs to get the woo woo. thing,
Oh,
and
right.
somebody get the that
like
thing.
someone just went to the principal's office.
Oh no, you didn't.
Ooh.
Hello, Newman. Well, I would ask about your week, but
You don't need to ask.
I don't have
anything
to
about
ask.
my week.
yeah, pretty much. We've decided we could do this for about 5 more months, but the kids aren't going to be able to handle it.
Yeah. I think they're going to go back to school as usual. That's
Yeah.
my prediction.
Let's hope. Let's hope for their sanity, because it really is less about really anything else other than I feel so terrible for Everett every day. I mean, he just needs attention, and he's, as Casey said yesterday, he's lonely, and it's like, I mean, we're trying, but he just needs interaction. He really does. And I'm sure that a lot of parents are feeling that. Guys, I'm excited about this episode. We're going to talk about the movie The Godfather. It's one of the greatest movies ever in the history of movies. But before we do that, let's talk about the fact that we are a Patreon-driven podcast, meaning all of our support does indeed come from our Patreon supporters. Patreon is a website in which you can sponsor creators, basically by giving them $1, $2, $3, whatever you can, a month or a per thing they do or whatever. We are a per month thing. So for as little as $1 a month, you're supporting 4 to 5 shows, which is awesome. For as little as a cup of coffee, you can feed Sean for a month. So get into that and see what you think. We do have a new supporter, guys. Everybody give it up for our new supporter, Heather Nichols, everybody. I got to remind you that our executive producers are David Dooley and Woody Chambers. This is a David Dooley and Woody Chambers production, and our producers are as follows. They are also, all of these people are at the $20 level and get to hear their name every single week. Thank you guys for sticking with us. So many of these have been on board for so long. It's just amazing. Again, it's patreon.com. You just search for Jarrett Goes to the Movies. Ad Craner, Amy Pitzinger, Andy Smith, Ashley C., Brian Mason, Brian Dunning, Shell Ordway, Chris the $6 Million Man Cranfill, Chris Holt, Chris Jacobs, Colton Schwartz, Daniel Cotton, David Dooley, David Murray, Derek Smith, Diane Small, Don Petretta, Doris Shutt. Doris Shutt. Gage Strickland, Gareth Roberts, Geraldine Darling, Gregory Cordone. I like the non-dirty ones, I think, the best. Those ones are amazing.
Funny.
It was just getting too outrageous, and you could never pronounce them right, and it was hard to hide them, so we just had to switch gears.
That one, I think those are so funny. Anyway, Greg Lee, A Hangover You Don't Deserve podcast, Jarrett Spear, Jason Aylesworth, Jeff Yeager, Jen Truitt, Lewis, Joey Bishop, John Gickler, Josh Millman, Kim Murphy, Kirsty Fisher. Shit, fuck.
Did you just pee your pants?
That scared the shit out of me.
You leapt out of your
I
chair.
did. I mean, that scared the shit out of me. Like,
What was it?
it was her opening a bottle of champagne. I had zero. And I'm like, I'm literally waiting on my cue to come back. And there is possibly poop in my shorts.
Your training is not yet complete.
Oh my God.
That was entertaining.
Lily Holland, Lisa Wenzel, Lucy Murray, Mandy Pretty. Hey, there she is. Michael Price, Mike Breton, Nick Brignoni, Oliver Robbins, Rodon James, Ray Elliott, Rob Popplestone. I do owe you a cameo, and I have it in my box. Robert Mays, Sean Blackstone, Sean Barger. I like when I make Eric laugh with just the stupidest jokes. Those are the ones that you. Sean Barger, Steve May, Tess Green, Trey Wren, Vinny Cataldo, Wendy Croft, Woody Chambers, and Svee Hurst. Hey, give it up for all of our Patreon supporters, everybody. Hey guys, look, all of our Patreon supporters just walked in.
You go, girl.
They're so stupid. The Godfather, guys.
Get you go girled enough nowadays.
No, I agree.
Let's make that happen.
The
Not enough you go, girl, and not enough snapping in circular.
Oh,
formations.
And owl heads.
3 snaps up. The Godfather, 1972, which was crazy. That's the year I was born, and I started to think about how old I was when I saw how old everybody else was in this movie in reverse. 9.2 on IMDb, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. If you are a new person to our podcast, the way Rotten Tomatoes works is the movie goes out to movie reviewers. They get to either vote that they like it more than they don't, or they don't like it more than they do. And so one's a thumbs up, one's a thumbs down, and it's a simple percentage. So 98% of those reviewing it like it more than they don't. All right, here we go. Now, Eric, had you seen this movie before?
Can I
I
just
had
say
not. Oh,
that
go ahead.
had to shove my entire thumb into my nose because my nose ring came out. So I just like full on picked my nose on camera on the internet, and I just felt like I needed to explain myself.
Yeah, go ahead.
I picked my nose. It was a nose
That
ring.
was it.
Very
Continue.
good. Look how cool both of them look in their little lighted corners, and I'm over here in the middle of the room. I can't wait.
What a loser!
God damn it. Okay, Eric, had you seen this movie before?
I had not.
All right, here we go.
Over to Eric for his synopsis.
All right, guys, this is what Eric thought the movie was going to be about. So the way that this works is Eric does a synopsis when, and he's allowed to look at the DVD or the poster, but no research and no cheating. So this is what he thought The Godfather was going to be about.
The Godfather, often mentioned in discussions of the best movies of all time, is the story of the patriarch of a mafia family who often wears robes and suits, and the lengths he will go to retain control of the family. But how will he react when he learns that aliens are plotting to take over not only the mob, but the entire planet?
I can't.
I love
it. In 1972, I can't wait to see the graphics. It's going to be so fucking great. All right.
To make that movie. Remember Cowboys versus Aliens? It's not out of the question.
Yeah. I still have trouble with that movie. I'm still.
I don't know what happened.
Me either. I'm still completely confused by the whole thing, or just the fact that we even watched it. Like that was one of those ones.
Wasn't there 2 Western alien movies like in the same year? And so it was like,
ooh,
they were both
Wild Wild West. Was that the other one
with Will Smith?
Yeah.
Yep, that was the one.
Does that not have aliens in it?
Yeah, it does. Remember they use the thing that erases their memory?
Oh, yeah. And then he's like, you're not going to come to my planet. And
That's the one.
Yep, that's the one.
Steal my horse.
Yeah, and then his German Shepherd gets killed. Remember that? And
that's right. And then he becomes a superhero.
That's
it all out.
That's what it was. Yep, you're right.
What a film.
What a great fucking movie.
It was a roller coaster, that one.
All right, Eric, what was this movie actually about?
Don Vito Corleone, head of a mafia family, decides to hand over his empire to his youngest son, Michael. However, his decision unintentionally puts the lives of his loved ones in grave danger.
Yeah, that's, so first of all, let me just ask you before we really jump into it. You had sort of an idea of what this thing was going to be about, but were there twists and turns in this that you really didn't expect?
Well, considering that it was 3 hours long, once again, I mean, there were some things that I didn't expect, I suppose. And there were some things that I know from pop culture that I didn't realize were from this movie.
Right. Yeah.
But that now I do know.
Right.
So, but like we talked about, I think on Monday with The Irishman, and when we were talking about the synopsis, it's just kind of all follows the same basic plot line. It's just kind of the details that vary from, film to film. So, to answer your question without answering it, what do you think?
Well, I get why this is, and we can get into this more, but I understand why this is considered one of the best movies of all time. I think that there's some real beauty to it, the way that it shot, that wedding scene, for example, and just the fact that there's just this juxtaposition of there's this wedding, this big, bright Italian musical wedding going on outside, and then inside there's literally just these people waiting in line to ask for the favor of their lives, and it's dark and it's cold and just, I really, really liked that. I liked the back and forth of that. And I liked how he lit up when he went out there to dance with his daughter and stuff. So again, we can talk about that as the movie goes, but I just could see how people could have seen this, especially, 50 years ago, and thought to themselves, holy shit, what am I seeing here? And acting wise, again, the thing about movies at this time is I think they can get very, very theatrical, and a lot of times they're really overacted. And this had not one character, unless you count maybe Adrian from Rocky.
No.
Oh my God.
Diane Keaton.
I don't think she did.
I'll go into that later.
Okay, I don't really feel like she did. I know your hatred for her, but I feel like Francis Ford Coppola's niece that plays Adrian in Rocky. There was some definite, like, she thinks she's on the stage kind of stuff, but as far as the rest
there were a couple that made me just roll my eyes, and there was one that just made me physically cringe in my seat watching it. Just God.
When she goes up to Michael or whatever, it's about the "you killed my," yeah, same. That was hard for me to watch. It really was. I'm like, I was sitting there going, I wonder how many chances she got.
She's an Academy Award nominated actress.
I know. And and been in, hey, look, she was in this, and then she was co-star of Rocky, which is another one of the greatest movies of all time, and she's been in more.
Not because of her, in spite of her, I think.
I guess so. Well, guys, here we go. So again, a new way we're doing this. We're diving into the movie all at once. I already like this way better. It feels just like there's a flow, and we're really going to get into The Godfather. I'm stoked. So hold on to your horses, guys. Let me share this motherfucking screen.
Sorry. See how quick we get kicked off of this motherfucker.
If you are in the chat room, if we do start to get kicked off, we will come back and try again, but it will basically be probably leaving the clips out and just telling you guys what it is we're talking about. But
otherwise, listen to the audio.
Yeah. And also, listen to well, Sean will cut that out, but listen to the audio, guys, anyway, because that's what we are. We're an audio podcast. I'll tell you that much.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Say.
Hey, champ.
Yeah, see?
Buonasera. What have I ever done to make you treat me so disrespectfully? If you'd come to me in friendship, then the scum that ruined your daughter would be suffering this very day. And if by chance an honest man like yourself should make enemies, then he would become my enemies. And then they would fear you.
Be my friend? Godfather?
Good. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this justice as a gift on my daughter's wedding day.
Grazie, Godfather.
Big. Give this to Clemenza. I want reliable people that aren't going to be carried away. I mean, we're not murderers, in spite of what this Undertaker says.
See, we don't really even know that he's the Undertaker yet, right? I mean, hey, we're back. So, I mean, gosh, I think it goes without saying, and you knew already, thousands of people probably have tried to do the Godfather impression in front of you, going through your life, right, Eric?
Yes, and it was the I'm gonna make him an offer he can't, that thing that people try to do. That's so awful.
Yeah,
including the one I just did.
That was really good, actually.
No, I've been practicing it in front of the mirror, but yeah, how did you like that affectation of the voice? Like that character wouldn't have been just fine just talking like a normal human being?
Well, I mean, I didn't love it, but it was, I mean, it's iconic. It fucking worked. It set him apart as like an iconic character, I guess.
I'm glad that I had the captions on though, because
this pushed me right over the edge into closed captioning. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
I will say though, so I mean, I know that Marlon Brando played the Godfather because people say that a lot. I didn't know what the fuck this guy looked like.
Oh, okay.
So
that makes sense.
I've heard, everybody has heard 9 billion impressions of the Godfather. And so actually seeing this guy, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen people do a better Godfather than this guy. Like, I just really do. I feel like, it may be like, he did okay. Just not what I expected him. I thought he was going to be older. maybe bigger. I don't know what I thought. It just was like, oh,
A little
really?
bit more intimidating.
Why isn't his mouth moving? Like, I didn't understand it.
Well, I feel like that at the time, he probably seemed older and bigger. You know what I mean? Like people just get older and bigger now.
That's what I had to remind myself.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Through the whole movie, I had to remind myself that it was 1972. I mean,
yeah, dudes lived to be 57 years old back then.
Yeah.
I mean, not these dudes.
Well, yeah, and set in the 40s.
Well, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I found out because whenever he's in the hospital, I said, "Hey, Jarrett, isn't it funny to think that you were probably born in a hospital that looked like that?" And he goes, "This is set in the 40s." I was like,
yeah.
I'm standing by my statement.
I mean, it was long enough ago that it took me till about halfway through the movie to realize that was Robert Duvall. If that,
I don't think I would have ever
anything.
had to pause it and figure that out.
That to me is interesting. I found him to be more recognizable than Gene Hackman the first time I saw this, and maybe it's because I really, I hadn't seen Elf 1,000 times.
That's the thing, is like we have this generational difference, but I'm usually pretty caught up on on all movies and music and stuff, and he's just like, that right there, that's Gene Hackman. I'm like, who's that? He's like, the dad from Elf. And
Wait,
I'm like,
James
oh, okay.
Caan?
Gene Hackman is not in this film. There's no way.
James
Hold on. I am so sorry.
I said what he said, but I knew
Fuck
what I was
my
talking about.
ass.
Ah!
I've messed that up.
Yes.
I'm sorry about that.
We both said it. Yeah, and he goes,
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying Gene Wilder is in this, and he.
No, he's not.
Anyway, Elf Dad.
Eugene Levy.
He's
is
the
who you're
kid.
thinking of.
Willy Wonka.
This movie would be so awesome if Eugene Levy
Yeah,
was in
it would.
I love him.
Now, Amy, had you ever seen The Godfather?
I had never seen it.
Now, you have struggled through a lot of these with us.
I have.
And some of these, and you don't make your husband watch movies with you.
No, I ask him if he wants to, and if he does, then I'll wait. But if
Yeah.
not, I do. I just watch it through
So
nap time.
you're in these by yourself sometimes, and sometimes it's your
I'm
only.
so Ronry.
It's your only alone time.
My only Ronry.
Only alone time for the entire day, right?
Yes.
Now, so you had a really hard time with The Irishman, but how did this one compare? You think?
I think it was probably better just because I knew the iconic parts.
Yeah.
The Irishman, I just heard people say it was great or it was awful and no in between. But this one, everybody has an emotional connection to, especially if they saw it younger.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that I did because I feel like I would appreciate it a little bit more. So it was slow, a little bit boring, but I did like to see the parts that everybody quotes all the time.
Yeah.
And all that. Although I told you earlier, I was waiting for the machine gun to come out and say hello to my little friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it never happened. I think I got the edited version.
that gets really confusing in Godfather 2
Yeah.
and 3. Yeah, so I had never seen these. My dad growing up was real big into these kind of movies, and this was one of his big ones. And he, of course, did impressions of the Godfather sometimes. He did not quite have my skill in impressions, but because remember last week I impersonated the Sebastian comedian, and you guys thought it was spot on. Yeah. So, but no, I never really sat down and watched these. And then I was on a plane to the UK last year, actually, and I just said, you know what? I got on the plane sober, which never happens when I'm going on a long flight. And I think we were late to the airport, or we had trouble getting all of our stuff checked in, or whatever the reason. And I'm just like, fuck it, man. I've got 10 hours. Here's 9 hours worth of movies. I'm going to watch all 3 of them. And I did. And I was really happy. I thought, I thought that I just don't feel like when I'm watching these movies that I'm watching a really old fucking movie. Because that's the thing that I hate. I can't stand the, like that stuff, or the I was a child. Remember that?
Oh God, what was that?
That
Indiana
was
Jones?
Indiana Jones. The
Holy.
I was a child.
Yeah, I did not have a childhood connection to that movie. That was rough.
So, anyway, I really liked The Irishman too. I really did. And you know what? Maybe I'm showing my age, me being, twice as old as anybody here. But especially Eric, you're a youngster. And
Yeah.
Casey, you stuck with this one. You really did. You really made a firm attempt to spend all 3 hours making sure you knew who was and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Was this an easier watch for you too?
Then The Irishman?
Yeah.
Yes.
And to me, they're easy ones to compare because it's similar aged actors.
I don't even know if that's what it is necessarily. I just think that The Irishman was a little bit all over the place. I had to kind of keep up. This was all in chronological order. I like that.
Yeah.
Super easy. Like you said, I like the visuals. I like that they changed scenery. That is easier for me to focus on. Like,
Yeah.
The only thing that drove me crazy, though, was the special effects, I have to say, because I'm really nitpicky about little things like, oh, well, he's getting shot,
Right.
but there are no bullet holes in
Yeah.
his. He's just rumbling around a
Sure.
little bit.
Yeah.
I just focus in on those things.
Yeah. The fight
Tell
scene.
that to Sonny Corleone.
Well,
Yeah. All the bullet holes. They used all the bullet hole money on that guy.
When Sonny beats the shit out of Carlo the first time, it's the worst fight scene I've ever seen in my life.
It's
like
awful.
I mean, he is not even coming
There's
close.
no contact.
Nothing. He's not even coming close to the guy.
I'm just thinking about Casey. Like they filmed that scene on day one, and they're like, "Oh shit, shit!
All of our bullet holes.
All of our bullet hole money is gone."
That's it.
Fuck.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tell Marlon Brando to take a pay cut, or everybody else is pantomiming.
They probably kept somebody alive because of it.
Could be.
Probably Diane fucking Keaton.
Ugh.
Does somebody
Would you have liked this more had she got shot?
in this movie's
What'd you say?
at some point does somebody fucking fill her with holes?
Well, she is a big player in the second movie.
Michael fills her holes.
Okay, is she in the third
Yeah.
movie?
I kind of can't remember.
Cool.
I just know she's a real pain in the ass in the second one, obviously, because I mean, that's what happens when the mob comes. The original Don, his wife's like off the boat Italian. She doesn't give a shit. She's just stoked. She's got air conditioning, and it's fucking great, right? This is awesome. But then you marry, then Michael marries a fucking teacher,
Yeah, but he had the good one first, Apollonia.
yeah.
Like
Right?
her. She was
was
neat.
hot.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Apollonia. Those boobs too.
Yeah, good
Okay,
boobs.
the boobs. Yeah.
70s boobs.
Yeah, those are full on Suzanne Summers boobs right there.
They
Just
they curve
weird,
into a
sort of like
point.
cone shaped. Like you could, you could just take one off and put some ice cream in it.
When did they stop
What?
being that way?
When did they stop making
I
them
think
like
it's
that?
protein. I think that's the whole deal.
I think
It's the milk. It's the
Yeah.
milk with the
Yeah.
hormones in it.
So the hormones.
I definitely have friends with boobs that look like that for sure.
But anyway, when the girl took her shirt off, Casey just goes, "Oh, I didn't expect to see boobs in this movie," and I just started laughing. I'm like,
Yay.
"Well, it's rated R. I mean, but it's the '70s. Who knows?" I
First
don't
of
know.
all, when do you ever tell me the rating of a movie we're about to watch? I mean, I figured that was just from all the bullet holes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how it got rated R.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Well, and the two penises that got shot off. Now there's a few things that I noticed in this that I wondered, and I actually brought this up to Casey, but and the one that I really noticed that just gets spoofed all the time, and sometimes not even spoofed, but with the fact that he has a cat in his lap when he's making that first deal or whatever. And you just kind of think about that to all of the other things like Dr. Evil with the cat in his lap, and then
Mr. Bigglesworth.
Mr. Bigglesworth. That's right. And then you've got just so many of those like the mob cartoons that sort of spoof this. They've always got a little cat in their lap and things like that. And this is the first time that I had
And the movie Cats that just came out.
that is that's true. Now
That's based on this guy's cat.
I didn't realize that was a mob movie until I went to see it.
Did you go see it?
4 times actually? Yeah.
Did you see the one with the buttholes?
The buttholes? Yeah.
I
No,
don't know. Apparently, they edited out all the buttholes, and now people are demanding that they release the version that has the buttholes.
they
Show the buttholes.
put the buttholes back in.
In what?
Speaking of odd hills to die on, show me these cats' buttholes.
Buttholes.
Cat.
Have you ever noticed though, like in movies, like
Oh, like the
movies
new
where there's a
one?
cartoon
I think so.
cartoon
Like-
boy dog,
With like James Corden.
they never have balls. Like every dog has had their balls cut off in cartoon land.
If you're a responsible
Castrati.
cartoon pet owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes they're puppies. They should have little puppy balls, and
You
then they
cut off their balls when they're pretty little.
Yeah, are they like
Maybe
12 weeks old?
descended yet.
It's
Yeah, you
super
gotta go
weird.
search for him.
When you see like a dog with just a good set of balls on it,
It's just
It-
big.
You can't not look
you
at
can't not look at it.
it. No.
It's especially like a bulldog or something where they're just starting to hang and like,
Yeah,
you feel bad like they're
they
going to
look
trip.
like they belong on someone's truck.
Yeah. on the back of-
It's like girls with huge boobs that like try to run without a sports bra and they're just bouncing around. Like those nuts look like they would just constantly
yeah.
bang together.
That's why bulldogs don't run fast because it fucking shit hurts when they clank
Yeah.
together.
Little legs.
If they
They're
need,
always
they get on a board.
They all have hip dysplasia.
Now, the confidence of mobsters is one thing I think that rings true throughout all of these movies that we've watched. And, I guess we're 5 in now. But, they go out to the FBI. The FBI's out there fucking, writing down their license plates and shit like that. He just fucking spits on the ground or whatever, calls the guy an asshole or whatever. And that's just one place I don't think I feel like I'm a fairly confident person unless I have to return something at Target.
Ugh.
And yeah,
He folds every time.
oh, I just don't do it. Fuck it. I'll donate it where it
Mhm.
just goes to the landfill. Yeah, I don't
there was a time where things were tight and Kelsey would be like, just go to the store and just put like $40 on this card and then put the rest on this one. And I'd be like, I'm not going to the store then because I'm not going to do that. I'm not ever going to do that.
yeah.
I will just get $40 less of shit so that I don't ever have to put it on 2 cards. I'm not doing
so
that.
weird. I haven't had to do that at like the grocery store, but like I wouldn't feel weird doing that.
Oh God.
Sounds awful.
People do that all the time. Like
I feel terrible right now, like anxious about the thought of having to. That's my personal hell is I have to do that over every day and Nickelback is playing in the background the whole time.
I used to just always this is why I used to do it all the time. First of all, people's husbands don't know how much they spend on their hair. That's just how it works. Okay. There's a lot of like double cards, half cash, half Visa gift card. Do what you got to do. Right. But I used to get all cash tips. So I always had a bunch of cash. So if I go to the store and it was $170, then I'd give them $130 in cash. And then I'd be like, here, the rest on the card. Like I just wanted to get rid of the dollars, like
That kind of makes sense.
so it never really bothered me to like split something up. Nobody really ever cared. And so
Ooh.
I think that anxiety's in your head.
You know what the most uncomfortable thing in my life is? And I'm not joking actually. And that is going to Sonic now. So those of you who don't know what Sonic is, it's a drive-in restaurant. Okay. You go in there, you drive up and you press the button and you tell them what you want. And you'd have cash so you could give the guy 75 cents or the girl. But now I don't ever have cash. So when they bring the stuff out, I feel like I'm the dick because
they don't let you put it on the credit card.
Yeah,
They don't let you add it on the touch screen now. They don't let you do shit. They just make you sit there like a fucking dickhead.
No, my car's already in reverse.
Yeah, and I will say, I'll be like, look, I don't have any cash. And sometimes, I like those of you who know me, a lot of people watch my shows. I have a Sonic cup a lot. I like to go there, get an iced tea, a Diet Coke. Sometimes the adventure of just going is like my time to listen to podcasts, especially these last 2 months. That's literally the only time I get out of the house. Unless I'm over at Amy's house or Casey and Ashley's house, which is now pretty much just an extension of my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just leave shit at people's houses
That's
now.
true.
Like,
Yeah, I
just
just
leave
don't
it.
know where things are.
We'll get it later.
But so
Children.
I just don't understand why Sonic would do that to those kids unless they've figured out a way to pay them more or something. But anyway, it's frustrating.
They do. They pay them more than like a regular waitress.
Well,
I know that.
That's good.
So they get a higher wage plus tips.
I still feel like
but it's
though,
not
you're
like
right. By
minimum,
now,
I don't think. I think it's like in between.
they should have it figured out. At least have like a 10, 15, 20% option.
Just a
it
button.
doesn't even have to be a whole thing.
Yes.
Snoop.
We could program it today. It would take 4 seconds to add that in to
There's got to be
the
a
algorithm.
There has to be a reason that they haven't done it.
Yeah. I don't know. It bothers me though.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad I stumbled upon this. Now,
Ugh.
so the people that are there's the photographers at the wedding that are running around and taking pictures and shit. And you don't realize until later that the first guy that freaks out about it is the fucking boss of one of the families. He just fucking rips the film out, throws it on the ground, and lets the guy go. But then there's the people trying to take pictures of the front door, and Sonny's just spit at the FBI. So he just takes the camera, throws it on the ground, stomps on it, and then gives the guy some money.
Here you go.
Throws it on the ground.
Yeah, threw the money on the
here, you
ground.
pick it
Yeah,
up.
exactly. Oh man, just how
It's a power
cool.
move.
To me, I just think that Sonny character is cool as shit. I mean, he's a hothead, but like that's like one of those gangsters where you're like, that's a fucking cool ass gangster right there, you know?
And then he becomes the father of an elf.
Yeah, and then he's well, first he dead.
Right. Well,
Then
he
he's
came
the
back.
Yeah, he came back. He did. Now, they start to walk through the family tree or whatever, and then you find out that Tom, the lawyer, he's not Sicilian, but he basically got adopted by the Don or whatever. And then I wanted to ask you this, Sean. So is this loosely based upon some of this based upon Bugsy Siegel and Frank Sinatra?
Yeah. So Mo Green, which you don't really see him until the end. He's based on Bugsy, and then was it Johnny Fontaine is based on Frank. So
Sinatra.
Sinatra. The reason that Sinatra had so much clout is because he had those ties, which you knew. I never knew that he, what the thing was, but it makes a lot of sense if that is indeed like what's going on. And I did know that Bugsy just got offed. They basically just came and just took him out after he, did much to get the thing going or whatever.
Got on the eye.
Kind of
So
what
that
this
part
movie
is real.
it's a bunch of real events throughout all of the mafia actual history put into a movie. So like when Michael goes to the
Got it. And
go ahead.
Right.
we lost you. We lost you there, buddy.
No, I'm waiting for
We
you to
got
talk.
when Michael goes to the bathroom.
Yeah, and then you were talking. Anyways. When Michael
Oh, okay. So when he gets the God damn it.
Is he doing a bit right now?
The bathroom.
This is a bit, isn't it?
No.
I need
I
to know.
keep talking and then you go to talk.
He's clicking mute.
Oh, I see what's going on. Sean, you have a delay. You need to get out and get back in.
Oh, okay.
Yep. You're on delay. So that's another thing that's happening. I should have actually just not said anything and let somebody else try to figure it out and like just see how
Translate.
long.
I just thought he was talking and then clicking back on and then just like, oh no, wait.
Oh no.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you're not gonna.
Oh, it's like nails on a chalkboard. I hate it.
So much. I've told you guys this story before, but that was my favorite bit was going to drive-thrus when I was a kid, just going, yeah, I want to get started with the and can you put but make that a large?
Oh, they're spitting so much of your food.
Just
I was gonna say, yeah, that's all fun and games till you get jizz in your hamburger.
man. Well, that's usually they charge you for that. So
You're not going in the right places.
well, apparently not. We learned that last week. Yeah. So that it's just I found that very interesting. The whole Johnny Fontaine being his godson coming in and basically saying, I want to be in this movie, what I do, but that's a very, very famous line that you just hear isolated all where he stands up and he goes, you gotta act like a man, because the only time he loses composure the entire movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when he said he was a little California pussy or whatever.
Yeah, he fucking calls him out, right?
That's the name of my new band, by the way.
California Pussy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So apparently, so you find out, and I mean, again, that makes a lot of sense. You find out that he was a big band singer, and he got offered $10K, and then again, he got made an offer that he can't refuse, and then Luca Brasi becomes a very big character in the movie, no pun intended, because he's the muscle, But what I found interesting about that is how nervous he was to come in and say, thank you for inviting me to this wedding. He was out there rehearsing the entire time, and he gets in there, he says his thing, and he's out of there in 5 seconds, right? But yet he's the guy, he's the dude that they're sending in, and the muscle that got Johnny Fontaine out of his thing, and then later on, the guy that they picked to infiltrate, and which does not go well, by the way.
Maybe he was known more for his brawn than he was his brains.
It seemed that way. Yeah, it certainly seemed that way, and maybe that was kind of the way that I felt like he was treated too. Like when he goes into that meeting, and they're like, I could use a guy like you, and basically that's what they're saying is a guy the size of you. Now let me stick this knife through your hand and attach you to this bar.
Do you think you could stab a knife directly through somebody's hand on the first try?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, if if like I had to do it, like, I mean, I don't have it in me to do that to somebody, but do I have the ability to? Yeah.
How about somebody bad? I could totally
It
do it.
just seems like it would really not be easy to get through there.
There's
it's
nothing to
no.
catch it in there. It's all,
those bones are really thin and
Yeah.
far apart.
they're like little wishbones.
Oh, sorry, I didn't go to an accredited medical school like all of you fucking geniuses. I was just saying.
Called metacarpals.
Christ.
Down.
What school
Okay, never mind.
what school did you go to?
Sucking multiple cocks.
Oh,
University.
where is that?
You.
Community college.
sucking multiple cocks. You.
Oh, so NCTC?
Oh,
Awesome.
that's funny.
Oh man, yeah. So, but it's crazy how quick they make decisions. They're like, Tom, you're going to LA tonight. You're gonna go fucking fix this shit. I'm gonna go enjoy my daughter's wedding, and that's just it. That's what I'm saying. Like during this time, you're the mob boss. No, your wife's not fucking with you for doing business on your daughter's wedding because you're the mob boss.
Well, and is that tradition real?
That they come in on the daughter's wedding and
Yes.
ask for favors.
Yes,
I
and they
wondered
can't
the
say
same
no.
thing. Oh, is that the thing?
Yes.
Yes,
They can't say
cool.
no.
Interesting. He basically, when you ask him something on that particular day, he has to say yes.
Exactly.
But you have to come to him as a friend. That's what he said.
And you have to be on the list.
Yeah, and you have to be on the list.
Right.
Right. Which is why what's his face? The guy that I just said, he didn't have anything to ask him for. And he was
Right.
like, he just wants to come in and thank you, which, probably got you some way. That is very interesting.
I didn't know you didn't know that.
No, I didn't. I honestly, I couldn't really. I just thought it was like a thing where it's like, hey, we've got these things lined up, But
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
why people were so mad that we didn't have a wedding.
right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't go up to Dennis and
Yeah.
get all their favors
I'm
done.
going to need some sausages.
Yeah. There
Ow.
you go.
I also didn't know that this wedding was referenced, I guess, in Zootopia.
Yeah, the little mouse.
Yeah, now I get it. That all
Right.
makes
But
sense.
that's what I'm saying, and he's got a little pet too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
right.
think that's cute.
That's
I
right.
like
It's
that
his
movie.
daughter's thing. Okay. Yeah. I knew the scene, but now it all makes sense to me.
Because he's like, on the day my daughter is to be married.
Yeah.
Like he says the whole thing.
Yeah. And he even has the little
Yeah.
that little voice. Have you seen Zootopia, Eric? You're looking confused.
I have not.
Oh, it's a
I'm,
good
I'm not confused. I'm just listening. But
You should show Everett that one. Oh, sorry. You can show Everett
Yeah,
that if
that's
you'd
fine.
like. He's seen it. But
send them over.
you should show Eller Zootopia.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Jason Bateman.
Is there any Roblox characters or Minecraft or anything like that in this movie?
Yes.
Yeah, you could tell him. Just look for him. You'll find him.
Only.
Okay, that's the only way he would sit down and watch this.
Yeah. Now, so again, Tom goes to, and this is important to talk about because this is setting up maybe the most famous or most talked about scene in this film and maybe film history. But Tom he goes and he meets with the guy at the movie place, and the dude, at first it tells him to fuck off. He gives him his card. Next thing you know, he invites him over. I didn't realize who you were. Let's go look at these horses. He's just like,
Did anybody recognize that swimming pool from any other movie that they have seen in their life?
No, but I liked it.
it looked familiar
Is
to
it?
me.
Oh wait, this is random.
It is random.
Is it the Bobby Darin movie?
No.
Well, the bites.
I'd love to do that one. Beyond the Sea. That's a great one.
Has such teeth, dear. That is the pool from Steve Martin's The Jerk, where he's outside and he pulls the champagne glasses out of the dispenser. Same pool.
You know how I always wanted the pool in the shape of little pools in the shape of dollar signs? and the hedges. Well, I got that too. Yeah.
But when we watched Fletch, didn't we say that library was the same one from The Godfather? Did we say that?
I don't.
The movie producer's house is the same house as that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No shit.
Wow.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Now, anyway, so he gets this tour. They're looking at the German steed that will never race, right? And then they sit down at dinner, and he doesn't even let him get to eating before he just explodes on him. He's like, Johnny will never get this movie because he's too perfect. You're like, what the fuck? Well, apparently he fucked up a chick by banging her, right? That's what'll happen. And then do I go to the scene now or what? Let's just go on to the next clip.
Fucked up a chick by banging her.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, what do you mean?
No, the girl ran off with him, and she had like
he's just mad.
$100.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he took her and banged her a bunch, and then she couldn't act anymore.
Well, that didn't fuck her up. No.
Couldn't act anymore. He fucked the acting out of her.
Yeah,
he fucked so good.
He fucked the acting, loving shit out of this girl.
Look at Sean. He went to
Sean went dark.
Christine, no, we have not done the jerk.
Jesus Christ.
We're talking about doing that.
Look at it.
Here comes the clip.
Potty break.
All right, start talking. I was sent by a friend of Johnny Fontaine. His friend is my client. Give his undying friendship to Mr. Walsh. Mr. Walsh would grant us a small favor. Walsh, good listening. Give Johnny the part in that new war film you're starting next week.
And what favor would your friend grant, Mr. Walsh?
You're going to have some union
Was my drink
problems.
too loud for you,
client will make
Jared?
them disappear. Also, one of your top stars has just moved from marijuana to heroin.
Are you trying to muscle me?
Absolutely
Now,
not.
look to me, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Let me lay it on the line for you and your boss, whoever he is. Johnny Fontaine will never get that movie. I don't care how many Dago, Guinea, what greaseball goombas come out of the woodwork.
I'm German-Irish.
Well, let me tell you something, my Kraut Mick friend. I'm going to make so much trouble for you, you won't know what hit
Mr.
you.
Walsh, I'm a lawyer. I have not threatened.
I know almost every big lawyer in New York. Who the hell are you?
I have a special practice. I handle one client. Now, you have my number. I'll wait for your call. By the way, I admire your pictures very much.
Well, we already talked about that. I fucked that up. He had to go pee?
Potty.
He had to go potty?
Number one.
Still ask me if I need to go potty whenever we go places.
That's funny.
I am 30 years old. Did you
Go potty
have-
with relief.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with my friends and been, tired and just like, it's time for night.
Yeah. Gotta go potty,
Sometimes you just gotta fucking potty.
That's right.
I taught Eller what number 1 and number 2 were yesterday. I guess he didn't know that already.
My kids just learned that too.
So I said, number 1 is pee, number 2 is poop. And so he's like, okay, number 1 is pee, number 2 is poop. And I go, what do you think number 3 is? And he just looked at me, plain face, and went, probably diarrhea.
I love that kid.
3 in the movie Home.
You're right.
His little alien processes. He's like, and then there's number 3. We usually have to take a couple days off work.
Yeah. That's a good movie too. Can I come to the out now? Can I come into the out now?
That movie devastates Everett.
Yeah.
He can't handle it. It's
It's
too
just
much.
sad,
The
yeah.
music stresses him out. The mom separation thing stuff is like he will just like burst into tears.
Oh.
Which movie?
Noted.
Home. Yeah.
All right.
It's so weird. The things that make him immediately uncomfortable. Like he can't do like really like intense music. He's just like, is this really sad? His eyes will like just like well up. Weird.
What a sweet kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He just like really like big
Since he was little.
classical music and things like that. He just feels the emotion. It's really
That's
crazy.
so cute.
That is cute.
Oh guys, hey, Sean's back from going number 1. There he is. Oh, number 2. Peace. So, this is a big point in the movie that you don't really even realize, at this point where, so basically they're saying, this guy's good with the knife. He's into narcotics. He needs protection from the police, which we find out later what the fuck is going on here. And it's really interesting to me. I thought this was interesting because 30 or so years later or earlier, it seems like that a lot of the old mob, really fought narcotics. They just didn't want to get into that. It was dirty business. And, obviously it affects, so many people in the family, and they just wanted to keep it to booze and gambling and chicks, And
then even in this one later, we find out, okay, I guess we can be okay with it as long as we only let the black people,
exactly.
do it.
We'll let them do it. And then, but also nowhere near schools. And, it's funny how they choose to select the areas where they'll do certain crimes and stuff. But
there's an underlying morality that, obviously in every one of these films, there's people getting shot by their friends, all kinds of shady things, but there's always this underlying honor and kind of doing things the right way that somehow gets intertwined with just the chaos that is these guys' lives. And it's a really interesting dynamic. And I wonder how much of that is played up for movies to where you have to have that piece in order to be sympathetic towards characters who otherwise you would have no sympathy for because they're just bad.
Right.
Or if that's real life, if that really was the way it was, that even though these guys were awful, there was always this base level of, yes, selective morality, as Chris Lasore says.
Yeah, that's a really great point. I mean, you do have to give them a bit of a conscience, a bit of a good, a good side. Otherwise, you're right. I mean, you there's nothing. They could be cool, I guess, but still, they'd have to be killing someone worse than them for you to be sympathetic to them. Very good point.
Well, like in The Irishman, that I was so happy that the main character who killed everybody the entire film, like I was just so glad that he made it to the end of the movie. He got to grow old and die. And it's like, if that were anybody else who killed multiple people, I wouldn't feel the same way about it.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. Great point. So, well, anyway, he hears the whole thing. He's like, the dude is like, narcotics is the future and we risk everything. And all you got to do is protect us for 30%. And he basically just says, no, drugs are dirty. Your business is a little dangerous. My no is final. Get the fuck out of here. Right. And then, and then Sonny fucks up and says, let's think about this. And that's when you learn, like, don't ever argue with me. You don't ever put our business out there. Don't ever make it seem like there's a ripple in front of anybody else. As far as we're concerned, we always agree. And I thought it was funny that that right as he's leaving, whatever, the just ridiculous flowers show up. It's from Johnny. He got the movie.
Put those over there.
Right, because we didn't even talk about the horse's head because I got confused of where I was in the clips. But yeah, the dude not only wakes up to a horse's head, but about 17 gallons of blood.
There's so much blood
on his silk sheets.
Goodness.
Hey, if you do a little bit, like,
I was thinking the same thing. You'd get a little sticky.
Yeah, you ever slept next to your small child? Like, you wake up when they pee the bed.
Yeah.
I was going to say, even without the blood, do you think you could sneak a horse's head into my bed without me knowing while I was asleep? And I think the answer is no.
I think I could.
How much have you had to drink?
That's a valid question.
Okay, yes, on a night where I blew it out, sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On a regular night.
3.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, there could be anything. They could have fucking, given the dude a shot of something that knocked him out in the neck before they even did that. I mean, it's
yeah, that's true.
These guys know what they're doing, Eric. I've heard.
They do. They were able to cut a horse's head off with nobody knowing, and then get it into the house with nobody knowing.
Significantly, also, which I thought was impressive.
Magic.
Some voodoo shit.
Yeah, that was some voodoo shit. Well, then Luca goes and he's going to infiltrate, right? And he gets into the thing, and this is where, as you said, that he's just like, how much? He's like, 50,000 to start. Then he puts his hand on the bar, and that's the end of that.
And he did.
It's funny though how, and I don't know this to be true, but especially when they're standing up, like I get it in a car that like if a guy smaller than you, wrapped the wire around your neck and started choking you, it'd be very hard to fight. The more you fight, the more air you lose, and all that. Like, but this is a really big fucking guy, and I get that his hand is also stuck to the bar, and but I don't know. I just kept thinking there would have been a little bit more fight to him, but maybe I'm just not understanding how it all goes down.
Yeah. Go ahead, Amy. Sorry.
Oh, that was my only thought, that he just went down really fast.
Yeah. I mean, because they say it takes like 3 minutes to choke somebody, which is an eternity, right? To strangle somebody.
Yeah. When I'm doing my kind of autoerotic asphyxiation stuff, you've got about 2 minutes, 15 seconds before things start to get pretty hairy.
Right.
So then you have the lemon in your mouth, right?
What?
Right.
What's the lemon for?
That's what I've heard.
What do you do? Bite that now, then spit it out?
Bite, and then it just kind of, like smelling salts or whatever, and you just
it wakes you up.
that's when you need
Yeah.
to let go.
Yeah.
My friend Michael Hutchins was kind of into this stuff.
Right. He used an orange. And
and you don't hear him hanging around anymore.
Roadhouse.
Wow, that's a good one, buddy. All right, so Tom gets confronted in the street with a goddamn sled. He's trying to just do some shopping or whatever. And there's just comes a time. I talked about this last time, but and in this movie it happens a few times where you just know, like they're like, you've got to get in this car. And you're like, fuck. Like that's it,
Yep, see you later, but don't see you later.
Yeah. I mean, it's such an interesting thing. But
do you get in because you think that there's the possibility that maybe they won't kill you, or when you get wherever they're taking you, that you can figure a way out of it? Because I think I would just start running. And if you shoot me down in the middle of the street,
right,
then so be it. But I feel like I got a better chance of getting out of this right then. You never go to the second location. Oprah says that.
I don't know this, but I will say that this is what I think about that. I think that it's a overall just respect thing. I think that if you run off, you'd be what would be considered a bitch. That's how you chose to die, running or whatever. Like, and you have a reputation, and the family has a reputation.
Yeah,
again,
it's my bitch ass. I don't care.
Again, I'm just going on what I think. But
I'm not in the mob.
These guys, they get in the car. They don't have guns on them, but they know they're gonna. And it's just interesting.
Yeah, everybody that goes to die in all of these movies seems so calm about it.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think it's like an honor thing.
Yeah, you go and you
die with
dignity. Yeah, absolutely. So, but and then freaking Don Vito buying the fruit, and all because Paulie had called in. Once Paulie called in sick, I'm just like, fuck, this is bad, right? And then he wastes the time and he goes and gets the fruit. But yeah, the Don gets the shit shot out of him 5 times, right?
And I hadn't seen this film before, and so I was like, man, that I would have thought he was in this movie for longer.
Yeah.
Based on kind of what I've heard of this, but he didn't die. So.
Yeah, he did not.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so basically at this point it's war. Sollozzo has his brother, and Sonny's fucking coming at him with everything he's got, and the dude is it's not going to be good. They got to try to figure something out. So and they don't even really know that Luca Brasi is dead yet. That's another thing that was cool about this movie and the timeline. And another thing I think that maybe made it a bit of an easier watch is because it's in chronological order. And this movie takes place, except for the time where he just shows up out of the blue and says he's been gone a year. This movie takes place over a fairly, the days are in succession. I mean, he's still got a black eye when they blow up his new wife, that
was the only time that I got a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Was, okay, his face is still messed up.
Yeah.
And he keeps touching his face with this cloth I didn't understand
what
that was about either. But I was a little confused there.
Yeah.
I was like, is it really happening that fast?
Yeah. And, I mean, he may have had a broken jaw and they didn't deal with it the same because he was talking funny and stuff like that.
It's weird.
Also, it's hotter than a bank robber's pistol there. I think a lot of that
True.
dotting the mouth was sweat
Like,
too.
Geez, just get over it.
Yeah. But, but here's the thing. Let's see. Oh, okay. Sorry, Sean, edit that out. Yeah, so everybody thinks that he's dead, right? That Vito's dead, and that's the thing is they're walking out to the car and he's about to let Tom go and he's just like, "Hey man, you tell Sonny to take this deal. If you don't, like I'm fucked. You're fucked. We hit this dude with 5 bullets and he's still alive. It's bad luck for me, and if you don't get this deal made, it's bad luck for you." So basically this is probably where this dude goes to the cops, and tries to make the deal, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah. I have to pee, so let's take a quick break. Guys, if you're in the chat room, stick with us. We have a great show for you. We're 2 clips in, but it's going to go pretty good. And
While we're away, you guys in the chat, just type into the chat box your favorite number. And we'll read them when we get back.
So funny. That boy is funny.
That boy.
It was so weird. Like they were just like, "Oh, we've got our guy. We're right here. We've been by the way where we're supposed to be," and they were just like, and they just like arrested him. And then the other CNN newscaster was like on the other side, and they were just like, "You're fine. You're where you can be." Like,
That's weird.
they let them all out.
Apparently,
they were like,
they released them immediately. This is they're privileged in a certain color. Yes. But there's a mom on Facebook I read.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging with us. I had to poop. It was I don't know what's happened to my calendar.
I don't know how to come back. Oh, yeah.
Was it a number 3?
He wouldn't be back yet.
I wish. You never know. Sometimes those are just really
Whenever you like just shit your pants.
No, he told the story a while ago. You didn't hear it?
I did, but I feel like it should just be like when you shit your pants.
When you shit your pants, it's number
4.
That's the number 7. Yeah, I don't care. It's, whatever.
That is not lucky.
That is not lucky at all. Man, it is hot in here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had some people give us their favorite numbers.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. 7, 13, 23, 82.
Yeah.
Lucy Marie said, no. Will not do that. Orange. So.
Do you have a favorite number? Like for real? I have one.
No.
I like number 3. I don't know why. I just always have. It was like all my sports numbers, and all my sports I played.
Yeah.
Did a lot of
volleyball.
My asthma, where I faked asthma attacks and went to Dairy Queen afterwards.
Oh, Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
I was at my company picnic one time, and we had to play volleyball.
I can't.
But what they didn't know is that I played volleyball all through high school and all summers.
Someone took the slow train from Philly.
Oh, man.
Huh.
Hey, Jarrett.
Hey, buddy.
If we lose the old man, we lose our political contacts and half our strength. The other New York families might wind up supporting Sollozzo just to avoid a long, destructive war. This is almost 1946. Nobody wants bloodshed. If your father dies, You make the deal, Sonny.
You know, that's easy for you to say. Tommy's not your father.
As much a son to him as you are Mike.
What is it? Hey, Paulie, I thought I told you to stay put.
Well, the guy at the gates, they said they got a package.
Yeah? Oh, hey, Tess, go see what it is.
You want me to hang around?
Yeah, hang around. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah? Some food in the icebox. You hungry or anything?
No, it's all right.
How about a drink? Have a little brandy. That's good. Sweat it out. Huh?
All right, sure.
Go ahead,
That
baby.
might be a good idea.
Yeah, right. I want you to take care of that son of a bitch right away.
Paulie sold out the old man, that struts.
I don't want to see him again. Make that first thing on your list, understand?
Understood.
Hey, Mickey, tomorrow, you get a couple of guys, you go over to Lucas' apartment, hang around, wait for him to show up.
Maybe we shouldn't get Mike mixed up in this too directly.
Listen, hang around the house on the phone and be a big help, huh? Try Luca again. Go ahead. What the hell is this?
That's a Sicilian message. It means Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Did you guys think that was the theme to Jaws at first?
No, 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 no.
All right. Did this throw anybody back to The Irishman when they were going to kill Hoffa and his son had a fish in the car?
Oh, I didn't put those together.
What?
And he said, "What? Why were you picking up a fish?" I don't know. They said they needed a fish. I got to pick up this fish. I had to pick up this fish and take it. What kind of fish was it?
I don't know. They had already ordered it. I just went to pick it
Exactly.
up.
So immediately whenever this happened, I was just like, "Oh fuck, that's what that meant." He had picked up the fish or whatever, and probably delivered it to whomever was gonna leave that wherever it was supposed to be left.
Way to go.
To say that they slept with the fishes.
Jesus Christ, you did it.
Holy shit! Did I really?
Did you just
Play the clip.
I don't know.
What did you solve?
I solved The Irishman, and we already did that one.
Play Pantera in that. Has it already been released?
Just fucking play it anyway.
Did we already release that one?
That one comes out today. It came out today.
Oh fuck! Take it back.
But yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. I was just like, oh shit, that makes sense. And then just the fact that they were talking about that wet spot the whole time, and just like it just made it this whole deal. It also so this just entered my mind. It also makes me think that's why De Niro, another reason he didn't want to get in the front seat of that fucking car.
Yeah, somebody was getting a fish.
Yeah, and somebody
You gotta get out there
and find that fucking dog.
Should we look up on Urban Dictionary?
Yes, we should.
I
need to have that pulled up all the time.
Sean, I need that clip, by the way. I need get out there and find you got a pet. But you don't have to get me that part. Just find that fucking dog. I need that part.
Okay, the fish. When a female has a vagina that reeks of rotten fish, so much that makes the strongest of humans vomit, it also has a slight gray color to it as a side effect.
Wait a minute. The vagina looks gray?
Yeah.
All right.
How bad was
is there any getting fished?
She just had the fish. Getting the fish? Let me see.
Like getting fished?
What if you say,
that sounds
I'll
awful
just have
if you
the
say
fish.
it.
If you
doing the scarn.
I'll just have the fish from now on. Imagine this. Our families eat together a lot. What are you getting? I'm getting the fish. Oh,
I see fished, but it's to be full.
Stay away from that.
Sure.
Fish dick.
Oh, what's a fish dick?
Fisted. A fish
I
dick.
know what that is.
Okay,
yeah,
tell
same.
me. A fish dick?
I like
Fisted.
Oh, fisted. Fish dick, a nasty, rotten fish odor that tends to occur when a guy masturbates too much. Semen dries up on the penis after it's done, which smells like rotten fish.
That is not true. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, damn. I didn't clean myself well enough after I beat the meat. Now I have rotten fish dick.
It is 100% true.
Does it get
No, I've masturbated a bunch of times and never it smelled.
It
left
gets
it there,
so
though?
stinky. It gets so, if you like you masturbate like on tour or whatever, and then you
There's
don't take a
categories that
shower
says
till like the
sex.
next day, or whatever, and like you go to pee and then you can sometimes smell it, or if you smell your hand after you pee,
What's the deal with after I jerk off and I pee and the pee goes in two streams? Like one goes in the toilet and one goes onto the floor.
How do you do? Like you can squeeze the end of your dick really hard, and you hope that helps. But sometimes then you go and it just
I wish there was
it goes different directions
Wait, you
again.
just gotta like crack the crust.
I wish there was
Why is that?
search on Urban Dictionary, so I could be like, what's that thing? And then like it just tells you the name of it.
A reverse search? Yeah. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
Yeah, that one sucks. One time, Danny Holland got a chigger bite on the end of his dick, and
That's
when
the story I was trying to figure out in my head.
And when he peed for like 3 or 4
Like
days,
a shower head.
yeah, it looked like a snake. It just like it looked like a shower head, like too much lime buildup on there.
One just goes a little wonky.
Like all that way.
We have a couple of those that are doing that, and it's just so frustrating because it shoots you like right where you don't want it to be. So like, but I figured out if you just press on that and like rub,
you just gotta rub it out.
yeah, and it'll shoot into another thing, whatever. Yeah, this Paulie, he's got to die, right? So that's that. So what is it with just eating? Like everybody eats. They just eat all the time.
That's how you live.
And no, I'm saying and everybody knows how to mix sauce, and their sauce is better than this guy's sauce, and it's like I don't know.
It's some Italian shit. That's like everybody's Southern mom makes the best mashed potatoes or mac and cheese. Like that's
Biscuits and
pretty
gravy.
Well, that's accurate.
Also, my Italian stepfather makes
who
the
is
best
on the
sauce.
chat, and he does make the best sauce ever.
Is he on the chat? Oh, I wasn't even.
Yeah, he's
being
on
a
there.
kiss up.
He's on there, and sometimes he puts a few extra Italian sausages in there for his son-in-law because he knows those are the only ones that I like. Because he good. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. They're just that's just it. It's just like even when this Pauly dude comes in, he's like, "Hey man, you know what? There's some food in the fridge. You want to go eat?" Everybody just trying to get people to eat.
I say it all the time, and I mean it. I'm not exaggerating. It's not even a joke, because if it was, it wouldn't be funny, because it's just not. But every time I watch one of these mob movies, I just want chicken parmesan. They always end up at some Italian restaurant, and I'm like, I bet their fucking chicken parm's really good.
Yeah.
Every time.
In that scene where they ordered the veal, and I was like, man, I'm not like okay with veal, just kind of on a
You saw the South Park episode?
humanitarian basis, but like, I bet it's so good there.
Do you remember the South Park veal?
I don't know the South Park.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
either.
that veal is just, they had to change the name to tortured baby cow.
Oh, no.
That's how they make it. It's like
Yeah.
they take cows, they can't move, and they're little, and that's how they say tender.
So it's nice and tender.
Oh God.
Anyway, it's probably delicious.
I don't know that I've ever had veal.
I've had it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Try the veal.
Try the veal cutlet, right?
Yeah, it's
Well, Michael's got to head to New York, and they're fucking, he's just like, I'm gonna go keep Kay happy, right? Got to keep her out of shit, and did you see, or I guess you probably knew that Al Pacino stays in these the entire time, so were you sort of wondering what was going to be his turn, Eric? Like, did you know that he was going to make one?
No, I didn't know anything about. I didn't know he becomes anything.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So
I thought that Marlon Brando, Vito, was the
in all three
father the whole time.
Interesting. So, was there part of you that was thinking, well, this is going to be part of the clash here? He's the good guy, and the way that he's looking, like when they're telling him to answer the phones and stuff like that, he's kind of seeming like. I think the first time that I saw it, I God damn it,
You did.
This is so fucking difficult.
I'm the one that said semen.
Well, all right. Anyway, I'm just wondering if you paid attention to that, or if you were just watching the movie, just whoever became bad.
No, I mean, I was paying attention to the film, but I had no idea if this was a big Al Pacino role, or if this was so early in his career that he just happens to play this like nice character, but nothing ever comes of it. And it's really just about the others. I had no idea what to expect from it at all, because he was such a minor character at the wedding. He's just sitting out there minding his own business with Kay.
Looking adorable.
Yeah, and he's a war hero, and people are proud of him for that. And you find out towards the end that his dad was actually trying to protect him from this and not even bring him into the whole thing. So, I don't know. I think the first time I saw it, I really didn't know that he became the guy either. And I remember thinking, okay, this is going to be a problem because when Big Brother is like this, and then this is a thing. But here's a little trivia, and I hold on.
Eric's opening a bill.
Stand off.
So, but I believe not Gene Hackman, not Gene Wilder. James James Caan wanted that role. He wanted the Michael role. And can you imagine how different the movie would be? Had he not played Sonny?
No,
he
was
is Sonny. Like that's him. Like I believed it, except for when he was beating the shit out of Carlo. I'm just like, I don't believe any of this shit. Actually, this is terrible.
So I mean, I just watched this for the first time in my entire life last night. But so is Sonny like the guy that people who love this movie just love that character? That's the one that people point to and they go, The Godfather is such a great movie because
no, it's definitely
because Diane Keaton.
It's definitely Marlon Brando. I mean, this is one of Brando's, really, really big ones. And really, to me, I can't think of another Brando movie that I even have watched and enjoyed. I mean, I really can't. I mean, I know that he's one of our greatest early actors or whatever, but I don't know. But he's kind of the thing about this and then the story. But yeah, the Sonny character is. So I think everybody likes that really fucking angry gangster, just the badass that's like, I'm going to go beat the shit out of this guy who hit my sister,
Well, he's kind of the catalyst for things happening that otherwise wouldn't, right? Mm-hmm. Because if he weren't a part of it, then everyone kind of wants to make the peace and everyone kind of wants the status quo so that a full-on, gang war doesn't start. And they're always concerned about the five families, and they, mention that constantly. So I think without him, maybe everything just kind of goes the way it ought to, but he's just the reason why shit goes haywire all the time.
He is sick of that stuff. He's ready to get into drugs and to really make money and to branch out. But that's always what the next generation does, right?
Yeah, they want to go and do the bigger, better thing.
Yeah, and what they don't understand is sometimes the status quo is fine. Now, I mean, the problem with that also is that then other people move in and all of a sudden you're irrelevant. And that, would likely happen in, had they not moved into those areas. But where's the mob now, right? I mean, we don't really think of them as being a thing. I'm certain that they exist still, but
they're doing a good job.
They're doing a good job by being so organized.
Yeah, Dennis.
In their crime. Now, what did you think about the hospital scene where he shows up and like there's nobody there and like the guard's cheese sandwich is there and
Jarrett's being born in the other room.
And I was being born in the other room in the 40s. No, but for real, like I really liked that scene because it just goes to show you how different things were back then. Like just even the fact that there's just one nurse there, and it's
this might have been my favorite part.
Yeah,
like where the baker out in the front.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Tosses. Is it flowers or did he bring? What did he bring?
Yeah. So he had brought flowers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he just tosses that aside. I didn't understand where he was going with it until people showed up. I thought
put your hand in your pocket and act like you got a gun. But even though he would, when the nurse comes in, like, you can't be here, and he goes, "Look, here's the deal. You're gonna help me move my dad into another room or whatever. Do you know who this is? Here we go. We're doing this. And
she just no questions asked. Okay, here we go.
Exactly, because she, but he wasn't wrong, and they did, scare them off or whatever. And this obviously starts. I think this is where he learns that he's going to have to do it. This scene right here is where Michael takes the turn. He sees, they're not looking out for my dad the way that they need to be. Like I'm here and I'm doing this. And then I'm out here with the police, and like this guy, it's the police captain. He punches me in the face, and, I'm going in, and, there's all this shit. And you could just, at this point, you've awakened the bear, so to speak,
Well, yeah, because I think it's only 2 scenes later where they're sitting around and he says, "I'll do it."
Yeah. I'll just go shoot them both in the fucking face.
And
right?
they go, well, wait a second, maybe no, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So we do find out that, the Turk wants to talk, and that's actually this next scene. Let's check it out. Is everybody still in the chat room? A lot of people are going to bed, but we're all good.
Night.
Okay, cool. Just making sure we didn't get
after they go potty.
We didn't get kicked off. We still have to say that shit, actually. Brush your teeth and go potty. Can I skip brush teeth? It happens every single.
Yeah, he didn't come say goodnight. Is he still awake, you think?
He wasn't downstairs in the living room.
Cool.
For show.
Cool. We don't know where he's at. That's
I have
good.
no idea where our
news.
son is
All
right now.
Awesome.
That clapper on him.
I found out about this Captain McCluskey who broke Mike's jaw. What about him? Now, he's definitely on Sollozzo's payroll and for big money. McCluskey has agreed to be the Turk's bodyguard. What you have to understand, Sonny, is that while Sollozzo is being guarded like this, he is invulnerable. Now, nobody has ever gunned down a New York police captain, never. It would be disastrous. All the 5 families would come after you, Sonny. The Corleone family would be outcast. Even the old man's political protection would run for cover.
You can't wait. Can't wait. I don't care what Sollozzo says about a deal. He's going to kill Pop. That's it. That's the key for him. Gotta get Sollozzo.
Mike is right. Let me ask you something, Professor. What about this McCluskey? Huh? What do we do with this copy?
They want to have a meeting with me, right? It will be me, McCluskey, and Sollozzo. Let's set the meeting. Get our informers to find out where it's going to be held. Now, we insist it's a public place, a bar, a restaurant, someplace where there's people so I feel safe. You're going to search me when I first meet them, right? So I can't have a weapon on me then. But if Clemenza can figure a way to have a weapon planted there for me, then I'll kill them both.
Okay, the difference between the way he looks in that scene with his suit and kind of like combed over hair.
Yeah.
Compared to that very last scene of the film where they they're in the office and the door closes, and they're kissing his hand. Like how different those are, which is a really neat visual effect, right? As he becomes more of this thing. Because in this, he just looks like a kid.
Yeah.
In that scene that we just watched.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Pretty neat.
When this first started and he had his uniform on, he's like, you got to pay attention. He's like, you want me to tell you something? It's what he says, because I don't care about spoilers usually, unless I'm watching Game of Thrones or something. And he's like, you got to just watch him, like just how he changes over the thing. And it really is pretty amazing to watch that character develop.
Well, he, when he first comes to the wedding, and even in, I guess later he stopped smiling is what I'm saying. Like that night when his dad was in danger and all of that, he just lost the ability to smile, and you don't see it again until he meets
Apollonia.
Yeah. And so, it's a very important transition for him. And again, I think you just start to see how I think people saw this and were like, you were asking about performances. I'm certain that people were seeing this in 72 going, who the fuck is this kid? Because he's going to be one of the best ever. And he is. So, it's funny. They kind of start to fuck with him a little bit. They're like, college boy going to get brains on his suit and, that kind of thing. And, and that's just it though. His plan is really good. He's like, hey, this cop is mixed up in drugs. It's a good story. Don't we got newspapers on the payroll, right?
I like that little twist. When they said that, I went, that's fucking smart. Okay.
The same thing. I was like, that's all you do. just shoot this fucker in the face, and then it was drug related. Well, hey, we're not in the drug business. It couldn't have been us, right? And
Right.
they're in with the politicians, and the
That's pretty
politicians,
good.
yeah, they're asking them, hey, did you guys got to take responsibility for this? We didn't fucking do it, right? Well, so then as he's getting him, I thought it was really interesting his talk. I can never remember the real fat guy's name, but he's the guy he just said he's gonna have to plant the gun. But he's showing him the gun, and they're down in the basement or wherever you can shoot a gun, I guess. And he says, how bad's it gonna be? And he goes, it's gonna be bad. But the guy's just like, this has to happen every 5 to 10 years.
Oh, right. And it hasn't happened in 10.
And it hasn't happened in 10. And so we have to have, this is how this works with the structure and the thing like this. And, so the policeman is on call. He's got to say where he is. You're going to plant this gun, and you ask for permission. You go there and you and then you shoot them both in the face. And then he just goes, how long before I can come back? And he goes, at least a year. Like, were you expecting that? Were either of you expecting that? Like, that he shoots the guy in the face, and then, oh yeah, and then you're just going to be gone.
Oh, that's weird.
He's a fucking soldier. He's probably been gone for a year before. Fuck it.
Surely, but that's just it. Everybody else is going and shooting people and doing this, but this dude is shooting a cop and a drug lord guy before there were drug lords. Just like, you're going at least a year, and so he this is after the shooting. He says, I'll make peace with mom and get a message to that girlfriend of yours, right? Oh no, this is not. This is before. What I thought it was funny. I thought the frisking in the car was really odd. Like, just like, turn around, let me frisk you in the car. Just like, you could have just gotten out before he got in and frisked the guy.
Yes.
And like, I couldn't have had that gun halfway up my asshole, and you would have never found it because it's so awkwardly.
You would have had that gun all the way up your asshole. Don't.
That other guy went on
Don't downplay your
right up in there too.
Depends on who was.
What?
I'll shove it up your ass and pull the trigger till it goes click. Anybody know that movie? You guys aren't Big Lebowski people, are you?
Nope.
No.
Sorry.
Not.
I watched that movie one time, and I was so fucking annoyed by it.
You have to watch it 3 or 4 times,
that's
and then
true.
it becomes amazing.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
Well, you should. I'm not kidding. Like, the first time I saw it, didn't get it, or saw it at the theater with the guys. Nope, I don't get this. I don't think it's funny. And then, I saw it again. Oh, okay. I'm starting to realize it now. I quote that shit all the time.
My brother likes that movie, and I just go, yeah, that's the difference between me and you. You like that, and I don't.
That's
okay.
That's not the only difference between you and your brother, by the way. Where should I start? I'm kidding. I like your brother. He's great.
So do I.
He just can't handle his alcohol at all. All right. Or he drinks beer that's way too strong. One or the other.
This is 74% alcohol.
That was the thing, right? He's like, well, I live in Colorado now. See, I must drink 74% alcohol beer, and then I will listen to Fish until the fish come home.
He also calls you sport.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Champ. That's what it was. What the fuck? Okay, so, and then how about that? They get to the thing. He's like, all I want's a truce. And, he's like, the thing is he was supposed to walk out there, shoot them both really fast, drop the fucking gun, and get the hell out of there. He did none of that.
Okay, did anybody think when he got back from because he had already got the gun, he comes back, but he sits down because the guy told him, you just walk out and you just shoot and you just drop the gun and you just go.
Yep.
So when he came out and stopped and then sat down, and again, I've never seen this before, so I'm just going, oh, we fucking chickened out.
Right.
Like, it's not going to happen. Did anybody else feel that way?
Exact same thing. I was like, oh, well, where do we go now?
Yeah. I did it. So I have to go back to my first view of the thing. Honestly, I didn't think he chickened out. I thought he's trying to get more information, or he wants to say something, like there's going to be some monologue or something. Either way, I thought it was stupid. I was just like, all of these dudes who have killed a bunch of people told you what to do. Walk out there, shoot them in the face, drop the gun, and get the fuck out of there. Don't run, don't make eye contact or whatever. Like, they've all gotten away with it a bunch of times.
Well, and you notice after he shoots them, he starts walking toward the door, and he's still got the gun in his hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I'm going, you gotta drop it. They told you to drop it, but he does.
Yeah. He didn't
But
do.
for that-
He didn't do anything they told him to do.
Nope. And
Yeah.
then he ran.
Well, the mob's at war. Don Vito comes home and they tell him, "Hey, you know, it was Michael. It was Michael that killed Sollozzo and the cop, and he wasn't happy about that. He cast him away." You know, it's kind of sad too. I think, you know, when you see a big, strong guy like that, you know, that's just one of those things, right? Where, you know, we've talked about this before. Actually, we talked about it last week. I said this to Amy during the podcast. We all sort of end up in the same boat, don't we? It doesn't really matter what you did in your life. You know, God willing, you're going to end up on that bed and live a long life. And when you're on that hospital bed or whatever, we're all the same, you know? And it's got to be super weird for somebody like that who just has so much control to be so out of control of things.
Yeah, like helpless.
Yeah, whereas you're literally in control of every aspect of not only your life, but hundreds, if not thousands of other lives with the trickle down. And here you are in the hospital and you're at the mercy of, you know, a couple of nurses and some.
You have to like change your diaper.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want that.
No, let's.
I used to say I wanted to live to be like 100 and something or whatever, but honestly, man, at the time that I can't just do all the shit by myself, you know, there's got to be just a way for you guys to shoot me out of a cannon, light the boat on fire, and let's just have a party.
Practicing archery. Okay?
I know we talked about it.
I'm going sexecution. Just when I turn 80.
What's
Is this
that
like
mean?
the autoerotica? I mean, are we going?
I don't know.
Get the limit.
Is this the Michael Hutchins thing again?
No.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just feel like sexecution would be a good way to go. Just like you strap me to a chair and just have sex with me, snoo until I die.
Well, this is our first hint that Michael is not really into courting. He basically sees a girl. He meets her dad. He goes to meet her at the house. 2 days later, they have drinks. He gives her a necklace. They smile. They walk with everybody following them. He tells them that he's going to make the whole business legitimate in 5 years, and then he proposes to the girl. What in the fuck is happening?
He just bought himself a wife.
Yeah,
happens quick.
Yeah, I guess
it was a very explosive relationship.
Something happened. I don't know. But I mean, this is going to come up again. Is what I'm saying. He's not really into courting. But Casey, I do have a philosophy on this next marriage, which we will get into as we get closer to that in the podcast. Let me share the screen here.
Well, I thought their whole relationship was dynamite.
Oh man, seriously.
Aw.
You just hope they can all. You can hope they can all last that long, don't you?
I want you to find out what I'm doing.
I don't know.
I want his ass now, right now.
Hey, Sonny, what? Things are starting to loosen up a little bit. If you go after Tattaglia, all hell's gonna break loose. Let the smoke clear. Pop can negotiate.
No, Pop can't do nothing till he's better. I'm gonna decide what's gonna go.
All right, but your war's costing us a lot of money. Nothing's coming in. We can't do business.
Well, neither can they. Don't
They
worry
don't
about
have
it.
our
Please,
overhead.
don't worry about
Can't
it.
afford a stalemate.
Well, then there ain't no more stalemate. I'm gonna end it by killing that old bastard.
Yeah, you're getting a great reputation. I hope you're enjoying
Well,
it.
you just do what I tell you to do. God damn it, if I had a wartime consigliere of Sicilian, I wouldn't be in a shape. Pop that Jenko, look what I got. I didn't mean that. Mom made a little dinner Sunday. It's over.
You know what I thought here? This is the second time that he's made a comment like this. There's just in this movie. So this is just a few clips ago that we actually watched on here. He said to Tom, he goes, you know, well, you're not his son, you know? And he says, well, I was as much of a son as, you know, you and Michael were. And why didn't he say Frito? That's weird. And then
Isn't that guy? He's kind of.
Is he a little special?
I don't know.
Yeah.
In like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Regardless, here, then he says to him, he goes, and now remember, this is a guy, these are best friends. They meet on the street. Guy doesn't have a home. His dad adopts him. They grow up being brothers. Guy goes to law school. He's running everything for this family, whatever. And then he just says to him, I wish I had a Sicilian, like this is you're the issue. And I thought to myself just now, as I was listening to that scene, going to get a beer, how many times has this guy heard that shit? Like his whole life. And yet he's still literally dedicated his entire life, to not only the dad, but to these boys too. He was ready to swear his allegiance to Sonny here, to Michael then even, kind of a different thing. Frito. Yeah, that's what I said. It's not Frito. I didn't say Frito. I said Fredo.
Fredo.
What's his name?
Well, I don't know, but why did you so quickly dismiss what Casey was saying? Are we as viewers to believe that there is something off about Frito?
That's not what I meant. I actually didn't pick up on that. I thought he was he the one that was in Vegas? I just assumed he was like kind of like the fuck up.
I think he's just the fuck up. Yeah, I was just kidding. I think that's it. I mean, he's the guy that's like super drunk at the wedding. They're basically sending him on to do shit everywhere. Even
because he's the one that interrupts in the middle of that thing where he says you don't have feelings you don't talk about how you feel in front of the family. Wasn't he the guy?
No, it was Sonny, because that's why it was such a big deal. But he says the thing is that even Vito says at the end, or towards the end of his life, even whether he says, I think his actual name is it Frankie maybe? I think, but they call him Fredo.
Dennis is saying you for sure said Fredo.
Maybe his name is Alfredo, like chicken Alfredo.
Oh, it could be Al. Yeah,
sure.
It could be Al. Yeah,
Fredo.
No, it's definitely just Fredo. Fredo. That's
so
his name.
We get some hints here too that the marriage is not really going that well for Connie, and that he just tells her to shut the fuck up, first of all. But then they're at the table right after this, right? And he tells her to shut up because don't you ever talk to my sister that way? That escalates quickly, obviously. But flash over to him living. You get Michael going to Italy, and he says, "Where are all the men?" And the dude goes, "They're all dead from vendettas." It's like they're just all dead from the shit that you're doing.
Like shooting fish in a barrel over there, then, right?
Yeah, he literally was just like, "You, wife." Like,
yeah.
No, it is. It's exactly what happened. That he was like, "I want to walk there." He's like, he walks to Corleone,
he didn't
right?
even like see her teeth or anything yet.
Sees the girl. He goes to the restaurant. Well, what's funny is they start talking about this hot chick that they saw, and even the dad is, "Oh, yeah, she like this," and like doing the hourglass figure thing and all that shit or whatever. And then he starts to figure it out. Goes in, starts to rant. Well, it's his daughter.
Yeah, but he doesn't know, like Casey said, whether she talks like the nanny or.
Yeah. But in Italian, holy shit!
Yeah, but you're like, "You're so beautiful." Oh, thank you.
But it'd be like Prego.
I don't know. Yeah. To be fair, he's only there a year, and he's in the mob. He could just hang out with her for a year, and make her not talk.
Yeah.
And well, you're right about the teeth. They didn't really fix teeth back then, did they?
Yeah,
no, it wasn't a thing.
Yeah, what if she like?
Yeah.
I don't know. There could be all types of stuff.
I don't know, but you're probably like.
What if the bottoms of her feet were covered in hair?
Oh, that would only matter to like me.
You don't know what his deal is.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. All right. Well, he sees her anyway. It's his daughter. They go to the thing or whatever. He has permission to meet her. Come to my house. It's crazy. He still has the black eye. I said, it's like not time has passed. Whatever. So Sonny picks up his sister here, by the way. And then he beats the shit out of Carlo. Fucking worst fight ever until he bites him. And then I'm like, yes, bite that motherfucker. Get him to let go of that pole so you can throw that trash can in his fucking face.
Yeah, I like the trash can lid.
I've always wanted to do that.
Bite someone?
No, done that. Throw a trash can at somebody.
Oh yeah, that would be
fun. We can do that. We've done that in Bowling for Soup for sure.
Like me and you, like I can just take you like outside and just throw a trash can
100%.
We need to get a metal trash can though.
And I know he's not fucking with me. That's
no, you can 100% do that to me and with a metal trash can. And it's really cool what happens. They they actually like bend over your
that's
head.
what I want.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, that's gonna be so fun.
We can film it. You can.
Okay, well then while we're doing that, could I have one of you volunteer to fulfill one of my fantasies?
Jared,
what you have to do is you have to walk along the sidewalk when it's very rainy and let me drive my car and just splash the fucking shit out of you.
Oh, I'll do that. I don't care.
I want to do that to somebody.
Not only that, will I do that? I will put on a fucking suit and let you do that to me.
So,
oh my God, please.
100%.
There were these kids one
time.
I say kids. They were kids, but they looked like they were probably 18, 19-year-old kids, and they found a big fuck off puddle on a relatively busy road, not like a highway, but a relatively busy road. And they just like held up signs that were just like, do it. And people were just like, videotaped it. And it was so funny. I got to find that video.
See, that would be TikTok heaven right there. I mean, like, dude, we would have a viral video.
We got to figure out TikTok.
God, I'm so horny right now.
Or is that you?
I'm working on
for TikTok.
Huh? No. Yeah, we don't even have to film.
I want to do this privately.
I have had that done to me before. I'm not joking.
Okay,
so there was
talk about your past.
There was
I want to try something new.
No, it's a bowling for soup thing. It's there was a place in Tulsa called Curly's, and it's only trash cans they had, and we threw one at Chris Burney, of course, and then we were like, "Hey, can we buy all these trash cans? This is fucking amazing!" And so we did it with all of them and videotaped it. And
Did you fart?
Did I fart while I was throwing trash cans?
No, like in general.
Just now?
Yeah.
No. Amy.
Not me.
Amy.
Now that I know that buttholes smell the same.
The wild frontier.
I don't smell anything yet.
No, maybe it was me.
Me and Amy ate the exact thing. We eat the exact same things on trips. And one time we were sitting in a club, and Casey fucking full on started telling me that I farted.
I know what your butt smells like.
Yeah, she was like, I know what your butt smells like. And Amy is crying, laughing. And I'm like, I swear to God. She's like, you shouldn't swear to God because you farted. I know it was you or whatever. And then Amy just like, okay, that really was me.
Y'all are fart doppelgangers?
It's the funniest story in the world because I just slowly leaned over to interrupt their argument. It was me.
It was me. And I will say this too. I think that was like maybe the only night that like you got like
I was tipsy, super drunk.
But you're a funny drunk. So like, everything you do is like giggly and funny and like, you know, you're just having fun. Like you're a good drunk.
I was like, I'm gonna let this
you were
squeaker
laughing
out in a loud club. No one's gonna know.
A squeaker.
Yeah, and I was just like, Jared Reddick.
The second it comes out,
I know the smell of your asshole.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you said
on the Disney cruise.
That's
what I scream on the Disney cruise.
It was an adult-only club.
We snuck James into a couple of those.
Yeah,
we did.
He had.
We used the force.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he. Well, and the one bar that we went to. So James was old enough to be in this one bar, but the bartenders wanted to keep us there because we tip really well. And so they would bring James a plate of strawberries, and then he'd get sick of that and start to get fussy. They bring him a plate of crackers.
A Mickey Mouse ice cream bar. Like that they had to run to the other side of the ship, to the other restaurant.
Keep this kid happy. They will keep spending money in here. That's how it works.
James had it figured out, though.
Yeah,
he didn't want to go to the kids' club.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we snuck him into a sports bar.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
And then he got like a one-on-one with Donald Duck.
Mm-hmm.
Daisy.
Oh, it was Daisy.
Yeah. That was a good. I cried actually at that.
Everyone listening to this podcast, it's like the equivalent of like showing people family pictures after a vacation. Nobody gives a shit.
We're essentially telling them about our dream right now. That is exactly what we're doing.
I want to hear people's dreams. Why do you not want to hear my dreams?
I fucking hate hearing about dreams. I hate it.
I want to tell you the good ones.
But I will tell you this. I do sometimes like to talk about my dreams.
Oh, that's fucking weird. Sometimes you don't like to hear people say stuff that you like to say.
Yeah,
that's weird.
I know.
You guys want to know who had a dream?
I can't.
I'm just waiting on you to open the beer. My hand is ready to go.
Eric's opening a beer.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, he did. Well, here's the thing. So, Kay shows up. She, and I thought that was going to be a bigger scene than it was. It was just kind of, I because there's some shit that goes down in the second movie. But
did they shoot her full of bullet holes?
Well, here's what happens. So Carlo beats the shit out of his sister, Sonny's sister again. she breaks all the shit. He keeps calling her a spoiled, he says racist shit. I don't even know if it's racist if we say it, because I don't know. And anyway, so Connie calls Sonny. Sonny goes by himself, and they shoot the shit out of Sonny. And so they have to basically fucking tell Vito. They have to tell him what happened. And he just says, no vengeance. Arrange a meeting with the 5 families. War stops now.
That's your synopsis of the best part of this movie, the best scene?
Well, I'm not really synopsizing it. I just kind of trying to give you topics of conversation. If you'd like to talk about it, let's go.
Man, I was expecting a big beatdown, because he already beat this dude's ass one time.
Yeah.
Fairly fakely, but still. Right. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, what is he going to do this time?
I forgot when it happens, because I knew that something happens to Carlo, because again, I've seen this movie, but I was like, well, fuck, he just gave him a goddamn job in Las Vegas. I knew.
I didn't think for a second that was happening.
No.
Yeah. And so I'm like, maybe I'm confused, maybe he gets it later or whatever. But Sonny made the ultimate mistake. You don't just get in a car and go by yourself. You wouldn't have sent Michael. You wouldn't have sent Tom like that. You wouldn't have sent your dad like that. You wouldn't even have sent any of those lieutenants like that, by themselves. And he made, that's how they got him. This Carlo literally fucking set him up.
Man.
And, by beating the living shit out of Adrian. And in fact, they show pictures of her after this movie. She looks exactly like Rocky after Rocky 2. That's how she got that part. But yeah, no,
Dennis
I did
is saying Italian racial slurs in the chat room right now.
It's happening.
What is he saying?
Well, I can't say him because I'm not Italian.
Oh,
he is.
Yeah, he kept saying that. Right?
I'm not falling into that trap.
I don't really know if that's racial or not.
It is.
I assumed it is because they use it.
Like, you can call me a cracker and it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, but it's not the equivalent as some other people that were actually had some oppression. Or...
Got it. Okay, so again, I don't really know those ones. The ones that they're. My grandmother had some guineas that used to come to the house each year, and they would have babies, and then they would fly away. And so that's what I thought we were talking about, birds.
Yep.
You mean guinea pigs?
Hens.
You think those flew away?
Yes.
No, they didn't have guinea pigs.
Those things are fucking annoying.
Are they?
I had a couple of those. My parents couldn't stand them.
Was that you, Casey?
Yeah, that's a guinea pig impression.
That's pretty good.
Keep going.
Sometimes I don't know if I can do impressions, and I have to just, unless I do it immediately. If I thought about it, it wouldn't have happened.
Right.
But now I know I can.
All right, guys, here comes a scene from the movie.
Well, my friend, are you ready to do me the service?
Yes. What do you want me to do?
Did he just say, fuck do you want me to do?
What
the fuck?
And all the skills.
Uh-oh.
I don't want his mother to see him this way.
Ugh, gross.
Look how they massacred my boy.
I gotta tell you, the way he reacts right there, that just gave me the chills right there. That fucking reaction to that. Look how they massacred my boy. It just seemed so real. I just almost started crying right now. Somebody react. Jesus Christ. I don't know what to say. I just thought that was amazing. And,
it was good acting. And, I thought we would never see that character from the beginning of the movie ever again.
Me too. That surprised me. I didn't see it.
Right.
Especially because at the first part of the movie, he sounds like Forky from Toy Story 4.
I love Forky.
Let's be friends.
Trash.
Yeah, I'm trash.
That was pretty good.
I'm not really big on Forky.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not.
I thought he was gonna be evil. When I found out he wasn't, I really liked him.
Yeah.
No, I love Forky.
I'm not a fan. Me and Amy talked about this the other day with the boys there, whatever. I'm just like, I just can't do this Forky thing. She's
You're
like,
wrong though. You need to watch it again.
I can be wrong about it. I just don't like it. But see, here's the thing. You don't like the end of Toy Story 4, right?
Nope. Hated it.
And I do. I don't mind it. I actually think like the rogue fucking Bo Peep thing is amazing. I just thought, what a cool thing. They're like in these little fucking remote control cars and shit. They're so funny. I mean, and she knows karate and shit. And
she doesn't even wear a skirt.
No, I mean, she's and she's not even porcelain anymore. She used to, in the first 2 movies, she's fucking porcelain.
She still is.
No way, is she?
Yeah, she came off a lamp. Her lamp was in the thing whenever you walked by.
Oh, well, then that bit sucks.
Yeah, because that's where Chatty Cathy or whatever her name was is living in there. And he says, yeah, we saw your lamp in the window.
Remember you like didn't have children?
Nope.
Anybody?
No.
Distant memory.
I do. I was watching Toy Story 1 and 2.
Right. Same.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a pretty good love story, though. Michael teaching her to drive. We get to see her boobs. You know, place is too dangerous. We got to, you know, he tells him his brother's dead. You got to move to this other place. And his own people sell him out. Guy's just like, you know, whatever you need from me, whatever, let's bring the car around. And then she gets into drive, and it should have been him. And
I hated that. I really liked her.
Oh, I saw that one coming.
Yeah.
I don't think I thought it was going to happen so soon.
Yeah. Well, so
it felt like only 4 minutes before they met.
It was. That's why he still had a black eye. It was literally 4 minutes.
I like to think that he got punched in the face several times after the first time.
I kept thinking
one scene he didn't have it, and then the next one he did again.
Yeah.
And then,
one of those little blips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. Yeah, so the meeting in the mob, which I found some pretty interesting aspects of this meeting. First of all, they never talk to one another. They always say, hey, well, the Don does this. He should do this. He should do this. He should do this. And they're not talking to anybody. They're all talking to each other, but they don't ever go, you this, you this, you this. And I thought, man, that's got to be just some sort of code or whatever, where you never really point the finger at somebody and say, you know, you instead, hey, he should share the thing. Well, I agree with this. He should do this or whatever. The Don has this, you know, whatever. He's got the judges and the politicians. He must share them, right? And he's like, you know,
yeah, I don't want to mention any names or anything, but the initials are Jarrett Reddick.
He said, but he goes, you know, you're not accommodating us. And he said, I only said no once because drugs are bad. Okay. And, you know, and he's not wrong, but you know, then so the dude stands up and he's like, hey, I actually agree, but fuck it. Let's just not sell the kids. Don't sell near schools. And then, you know, they make the deal. They hug it out. And, you know, the deal with Vito was like, look, Michael's coming back. I'm superstitious. Anything happens to him, you're all fucked, is basically what he says. You know, like, guy fucking gets a cold and sneezes and has a heart attack. You're all dead, you know? But at that point, he had figured it all out. He figured out that Martzini was the traitor and fucking waits a year to take care of it because all of a sudden Michael is back. He goes to see Diane Keaton and she goes, how long you been back? And he goes, a year or more, you know, I was like, what the fuck? You just had a black eye for 3 years. Like what?
This was my least favorite part of the movie because it's not like there's any indication given to you that any time has passed.
No.
And also he's been back a year and just decides he's going to go see her. Casey, is this where you want to tell us about how much you love Diane Keaton?
I fucking can't stand her.
I actually have something to say here.
When I saw that she was in this movie, because I looked at the cast, because I was like, okay, I should figure out who these people are.
You already didn't like her.
That's the whole point.
No, I can't. But I was like, maybe I like young Diane Keaton, and immediately I was like, nope. It turns out I don't. And why are her eyebrows so far apart? And why the fuck are they accentuating her forehead like that weird character on Saturday Night Live that Big plays with the small hands?
Yes.
In the hotel room when they're eating dinner and then he's got to go and that hair is pulled back so far.
Do you know which character I'm talking about?
On the
with the Kristen Wiig with the little hands.
The sisters, and she's the one with the little hands.
Yeah, that late night show, and she tries to pop bubbles with the tiny hands.
Yeah, that's what this was.
You should see Amy do that. Do it again, Amy. It actually looks like she's got the little hands on. Now, I have something to say about this meeting. And that is, when you're in a situation like that, where you're taking over or whatever, you need an heir. He kept saying he needed her. He wasn't saying that he was in love with her, nothing like that. He just kept saying, I need you. He did. He needed her to come be his wife so he could fucking have kids and have spawn and blah, blah, blah. And she was the right kind of person to do that.
Was she? I mean, couldn't he just got a nice Italian girl and?
Well, that's just it. He needed somebody. Really, you want to bring somebody unconnected into the thing so that she's off the radar
and quickly.
She doesn't know anything about his shit, and he's not ever going to tell her anything. And again, that's just my theory of why he kept saying he needed her. Guys, we have 4 clips left, and I don't have a ton of notes. These ones go real fast. So if you're in the chat room, stick around. I just got to go pee. Eric needs a 5-minuter. And so we'll see you guys back here in 6 minutes.
And while we're in the chat, just go ahead and list your favorite
Go ahead.
Bowling for Soup song.
All right. List your favorite Bowling for Soup song. What?
Is that right?
Okay, take a bite and then please, dear God, take the banana away from your mouth. I'm so uncomfortable.
Jesus, what is happening right now?
Snack time.
What?
What?
Casey, how is your screen Sean?
I made it that way because I wanted it.
That's fucking hilarious.
And Sean made his me.
Sean's screen.
Oops. By the way, Greg, we don't have a song called Let's Get Fucked Up and Die.
You do now.
Huh.
Let's get fucked up and die.
Okay, it might work.
Fucking Lucy Murray. Oh, that's because that one time we played a show and we pretended we were Good Charlotte. In front of a lot of people, actually. Okay, guys. This should be fun. We got a few more clips left. Y'all stick with us.
Okay.
Shit. Hold on, I got to turn this thing off. Sorry, guys. I do not like being in control of all the goddamn buttons. All right, here we go.
There are things being negotiated now that are going to solve all your problems and answer all your questions. That's all I can tell you now. Carlo, you grew up in Nevada. When we make our move there, you're going to be my right-hand man. Tom Hagen's no longer consigliere. He's going to be our lawyer in Vegas. That's no reflection on Tom, but that's the way I want it. Besides, if I ever need help, who's a better consigliere than my father? And that's it.
Mike, why am I out?
You're not a wartime consigliere, Tom. Things may get rough with the move we're trying.
Tom. I advise Michael. I never thought you were a bad consigliere. I thought Santino was a bad Don. Rest in peace. Michael has all my confidence, as you do. But there are reasons why he must have no part in what is going to happen.
Maybe I could help.
You're out, Tom.
You're out. Get out of my sight, Tom.
I know. I was wondering when I was watching this, like, is it a personal thing? Like, was he personally offended, or is it just a business and he moves on with his life? Like, that's no big deal.
Personally, I think he's in on it. I think he knows everything that's about to happen, but he's not supposed to know things because he's an attorney. Either way, he's out. The focus is right now is going to be on Vegas and keeping everybody, alive, I guess. So, that's the thing. We go to Vegas, right? And Fredo, he gets him. He brings him into the room, right? And he's just like, "Get rid of all this. I'm here to work."
No.
Get rid of these bitches, and he goes, and get rid of the band too. Like, as if it was just like, okay, we'll leave the band, get the girls out of here, but I'll just listen to this fucking same song over and over like we do other things.
Get Carrot Top out of here. Get the Thunder from Down Under out of here.
If you just got off a plane and went somewhere and it was just like a fucking band, and I'm like, because you'd need to poop.
Yeah, or I'd do that at the airport if I knew that's where I was going.
But I'm saying if it was a surprise, you'd be mad because you would be wanting.
I wouldn't like that. Well, also, I don't like surprises like that anyway. I'd want to know what I was walking into.
You know who does like surprises?
Who? Oh, Sean. Oh my God.
Sean loves surprises.
He loves surprises.
We haven't had a surprise in a long time, Sean.
Well, surprise. He's not surprising anybody anymore.
You know about the one I'm working on.
This is the longest I've gone without seeing any of you since we've met.
Yeah.
This is the longest I've gone without seeing Gary. I told him that today. It's super weird. This is the longest Rob has gone from being at our house since he filled in for Gary before he took over for Eric.
Here's a weird thing about Sean.
Wow.
I don't remember like the first time you were just around. Like I feel like you just have just existed. Like
that's funny.
And you just exist now. Like that's just how it has been. Like I don't remember.
Came along.
Like I remember.
Sean, I remember
it's been 2.5 years now.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like people just like show up and do like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like you just are.
Yeah.
I remember when I first met you and I was over at Jarrett's house and we were doing the podcast and I was the guest and you looked at me like I was a fucking asshole the whole entire time.
This is so
actually,
good.
you know what? I'll bet you. I bet you don't even know this, Eric. But when everything went down with the podcast, and Casey and I had already decided we were going to ask you, and Sean basically just was like, "You got to get that guy. Just do whatever you got to do to get that guy, and I'll make my
make
end
him
work."
an offer.
So
that's so weird.
No, I'm not talking. He didn't say that about you. He was saying that about the other guy that we were trying to get. And but we try to talk him into you. I'm just kidding. No,
into you.
Oh God, it's getting worse.
And he wouldn't do it.
Hey, Eric, can you see where you are on the screen right now? We could do a really funny picture if you like make your face the top half.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you see what I'm saying? Can you like lean into the camera and make your face the top half of the Godfather?
Like just your eyes.
Okay, now go down.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, now go forward. Okay, down.
Get rid of your nose.
Forward. Okay, up.
Oh.
Up.
Forward a little.
Up. Forward. How close can you get
Oh,
closer?
that's so good.
Oh, good.
Up. Okay.
Oh shit.
Fuck. Shit.
Don't move. A little closer.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I'm glad we did that. The audio of that is going to be amazing.
With the little ching.
I think I got it.
I bet Sean could be one of his arms if he like wanted to.
So the thing is this made a lot more sense to me because I really don't know that I don't know what this is the history of. I just thought it was a movie. I really enjoy stories about the mob. Pardon me. I'm so sorry. I enjoy stories about the mob, but I didn't know, what of this was based on what. So just knowing that that Mo is based upon Bugsy Siegel, and then Frank Sinatra being Johnny's character, and this is where they're like, hey, here's the thing. You sign a contract, you play here 5 times a year. We think entertainment's going to be the shit. We're just thinking maybe you spread the word to some of your Hollywood friends, and we're going to make Las Vegas all about entertainment, right?
Okay, but that makes sense, except when they do that montage of driving into Vegas, they already had a billboard for the Rat Pack. So it's not like they didn't know that already. Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, whoever the other fucking guy was.
Well, this is Joey Fatone. So
Joey, fat one.
No, Joey. Yeah, Joey Fatone. Hey, stop trying to poke holes in everything I say.
I'm not trying to poke holes in everything. I was just saying.
What were you saying?
That
we don't know that the Rat Pack could have been fucking chicken shit to this guy. Look, we don't know that this is Frank Sinatra. We're just saying you need a big headliner here. We're gonna base it upon
Vic, whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah. So who gives a shit? Andrew Dice Clay could be on the fucking billboard for all I care.
Hickory dickory dock.
Little Miss Muffet, she needed the money. Yo. There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many kids, her uterus fell out. Go!
Well, he was a real visionary when it comes to comedy.
What is so funny about that kind of comedy is that I remember a time when it was funny. He did arenas.
It is funny.
I mean, he literally did arenas, and now it's considered so, cheesy not funny and cheesy or whatever, but it was like, dude, he was doing something nobody else could have fucking ever done. And then, he
character comedy,
so
like
he fucking his opening scene. I don't know if you guys ever saw his like live arena DVD or whatever, but you guys would have been little kids because no, you might not even have been born, but he opened up a show with, so I got my tongue up this chick's face.
No, but I've heard you say that a bunch of times. Real.
And he just she's looking down on me like, why are you bothering me? And I'm like, you know how boring it can be when you're online at the bank? Go! Just so ridiculous.
Well, I hope it was funnier than that.
It was so. Hey, how about Andrew Dice Clay?
I'm glad you're not. We wouldn't be friends if you were Andrew Dice Clay.
Might be.
Don't hold me to those, to your fucking standards of what you think an Andrew Dice Clay.
See, He's still alive.
Yeah, he does really good, actually. He was just in a really big movie. Hold on, guys. I already started this clip.
My credit good enough to buy you out?
Buy me out.
Casino. The hotel. Corleone family wants to buy you out.
The Corleone family wants to buy me out. No, I buy you out. You don't buy me out.
Your casino loses money. Maybe we can do better.
You think I'm skimming off the top, Mike?
You're unlucky.
You goddamn guineas really make me laugh. I do you a favor and take Freddie in when you're having a bad time, and then you try to push me out.
Wait a minute. You took Freddie in because the Corleone family bankrolled your casino because the Molinari family on the coast guaranteed his safety. Now, we're talking business. Let's talk business.
Yeah, let's talk business, Mike. First of all, you're all done. The Corleone family don't even have that kind of muscle anymore. The Godfather is sick, right? You're getting chased out of New York by Barzini and the other families. What do you think is going on here? You think you can come to my hotel and take over? I talked to Barzini. I can make a deal with him and still keep my hotel.
Yeah, well, so that's probably not a good way to talk to him, you know? I mean, I'm just thinking.
He seemed really upset, though.
He was.
Did you guys pick up on that?
I picked up that he was a little upset. Freddie, by the way, that's what his name is. Frida.
I thought they were all Anthony.
Yeah, no, they're all Tony.
They're all Tonys, yeah.
Right? Isn't that funny? That in that movie, Al Pacino's character says that, and in this movie, he has a son named Anthony.
I mean, come on.
What? Come off it. All right, so look, here's the thing. So a lot of shit has happened here. There's Frito, you know, you're my older brother. I love you, but you ever take sides against the family again, I'll fucking kill you, right? I mean, that's that. Now he get asked to be the godfather of Connie and Carlo's kid, which I could not help but think, like, what the fuck? I can't remember why this happens. Basically, this gives him the right to fucking, or I guess, like, he can just kill the guy because now he's essentially his father, right?
I couldn't figure this out either. Like, this is the guy who killed your brother, but you're okay with being his kid's godfather?
But I think that it means so much in those circles that had he killed him, he wouldn't be his godfather. See what I'm saying? Because he hasn't killed him. He hasn't killed the guy yet. Right.
Right.
So anyway, so Connie, this is all, you know, the Don Vito talking to him where he's like, hey, they want you to be his godfather. He's like, I'll think about it. And their conversation here is really great. I really like this, just this back and forth of the two of them where he, you know, he says to him, look, you know, I didn't want you to be in this, and I didn't want it to be you, but here's the thing, you're going to be assassinated. You know, like, I'm sorry that this is the way that the family went. I should have been around more, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah. And you're going to be assassinated.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Right. Yeah. So, but you know, this guy is so smart. He's been doing it for so long. He's like, hey, ever who comes at you for the Barzini meeting, he's the traitor. And you know what? It just so happens that that's exactly what happened.
That it was Abe Vigoda the whole time.
Well, and what's funny is when it happens too, because then you just get that sweet scene of the Don being a grandpa and just, you know, enjoying his grandkids and sitting out there and you know, making faces and just, you know, being. And you know, then he falls down and they go to the funeral. And then that dude approaches him. He's like, hey, Barzini wants to arrange a meeting. You know, you're at not the same thing. I'm just like, but I mean, I guess that's it, right? They just don't fucking waste any time, and they pick their times to say these things. And these guys were all there at the time. You know, what a weird world that we live in.
Yes, I'm here trying to bury my dad. Can you just wait to try to set me up to kill me until some other slightly more convenient time?
Maybe Buddy was supposed to tell him, and he was like, oh shit, this reminds me.
Oh shit, before I forget.
Here's what we learned from these kind of movies. Business should be done at weddings and funerals.
Only.
Everything else, you eat. That's it.
So if you ask for something at a wedding, you have to say yes. If you ask for something at a funeral, you have to say no.
Well, they didn't actually. He said yes to the meeting. Jesus Christ, they're all yes men.
Oh, that's
Am
disappointing.
I right or am I right? That's fucking ridiculous. I'm so sorry that I even fucking said that.
You looked over at the iPad like you were going to play something awesome after you
I
said
was going to play something awesome, but I didn't deserve it, so I'm not going to give that to myself. Fuck that shit.
Bunch of cocks.
Actually, here's where
Why did you said it like Forrest Gump?
here's where that happens.
Mama said.
My mama always said, "Life is like a bunch of cocks."
Never
know
know
how they're
what.
gonna come at you.
In his defense, those were big wieners.
They're arranging a
Never
meeting
know.
in Brooklyn. Tessio's ground. Where I'll be safe.
I always thought it would have been Clemenza, not Tessie.
It's the smart move. Tessio was always smarter. But I'm gonna wait. After the baptism, I've decided to be godfather to Connie's baby. And then I'll meet with Don Barzini and Tatalia. All the heads of the 5 families.
So that's just it, right? He needs to become the god. I mean, I don't know. Am I wrong in thinking he needs to become the Godfather so he's known as the Godfather?
I don't know. I couldn't figure out with this scene, with the baptism scene, and then what we'll, I'm sure, talk about here in just a moment with everything that happens. Just, I didn't see any of the planning or any of that. Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere for me.
Well, that's just it. He has his own, his own shit going on, and he can't. That's one of the things about Tom. Tom's the reason why he shouldn't be in that office is because he really is a lawyer, and I mean, in some fashion or another, he's got to, abide by the law. Otherwise, he gets disbarred. They don't fucking get.
Eric's opening a bill.
So, but yeah, this whole thing of him deciding, hey, I'm going to do all of this after the baptism. It just shows the patience and just the plotting and the cunning, I guess, maybe, of these guys. Where, like, again, just go back to Paulie for a second and him coming in and he going, "Oh man, you don't look good. Grab some food, grab some brandy. It clears it up." He walks out. He's just like, "I want this fucker dead. This is the first thing that you do," or whatever. And imagine this guy. Imagine, like, I'm going to kill all 5 heads of the major families. And then I'm going to go kill Carlo, right? And that's what happens. The baptism happens, and it's just. What an insanely great scene to me. I thought.
How old is that baby?
Yeah, we couldn't figure out.
That thing just came out.
Yeah,
I was about to say that was a fresh baby.
It still had like a misshaped head.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
what
like
the
wet.
fuck
Agreed.
happened?
I
Yeah,
bet
hair
there
still
was
stuck to the
I
thing.
bet you, like, back then they just didn't have the regulations. They were like, "We want a fresh baby."
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
cord was still on there.
somebody popped one out. They're like, "Hey, you want to be in a movie with
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese or whatever?" Like,
There should just be.
ship the baby over there.
I just want to
the
know who, like,
baby.
all movie babies are grown up. All of them. I realize they're not like mega important roles, but I would like to know.
No, I think that's
Like, I'd like to be able to
yeah.
click a button and just see what that baby looks like now.
You've got to be able to search for that. Connie and Carlo's baby, the Godfather, grown up.
Where is he or she now?
Yeah. Oh, they did.
Just type in actress.
So Carlo's dead. Mo Green's dead. And then there's a man in your
Arm.
It's Dan.
Oh, it's Dan. Hey, Dan.
Dan's leaving.
Oh, see you, Dan.
Bye, Dan.
Bye, Dan.
He
Okay.
can't hear you, so
Carmina.
Casey waved at Dan.
Who?
Dan.
Danny.
He's
Oh,
gonna-
hi. I didn't see there's another person there.
Yeah, Casey knows. I
Is
can
it
continue for free.
Coppola?
Oh, it's a baby Coppola.
Yeah,
Is
that,
Americans? Yeah, it's her dad. It's
That
her,
makes
she's
a
the
lot of
baby.
sense.
Yeah.
yeah, she's Sophia Coppola.
So she's a screenwriter, director, producer, and former
Alright.
actress.
Oh, that's his daughter?
Uh-huh.
Oh, she's won Academy Awards and shit.
Made her film debut as an infant. Her father's acclaimed crime film drama.
That is so
That's
insane.
really
so
cool.
What's her name again?
Sophia.
Yeah, she is like Academy Award winner, big time. Like,
what does she look like?
That is crazy. How they would have done that.
Also, Connie is Francis's sister.
Niece. I thought it was his niece.
No, sister.
Really? Well, I didn't know that.
Oh, interesting. I know who this lady is. She was on I think she was on Desperate Housewives. Was she? Maybe. No, that's not her.
No, she's not an actress. She's a
It said she was a former actress. Stop yelling at me.
Yeah, because she was in The Godfather.
No, she's been in Lost in Translation.
Oh, neat.
And she was born on May 14th, 1971. So when filming happened, she was probably quite fresh.
Yeah, she looked fresh.
Yeah, but this
Exciting.
was yeah, brand new.
Well, Gary, Eric has left the building. Well, oh no, he's back. Eric, what did you and him go do?
Oh God, this is the hottest gay sex I've ever had.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
With my brother-in-law.
Right.
You've got AIDS.
Yes, you've got AIDS, not HIV, but full-blown AIDS. I'm sorry, it couldn't be something less serious.
So Carlo, though, does get the fucking all of it. You're out of business. You're going to Vegas. You stay there. Don't tell me you're innocent. That insults my intelligence or whatever. Like, again, just the patience of just not wanting to just rip this guy's fucking head off. And all of these dudes are like that, whether they're killing their friend or whatever.
And I was sitting there honestly going, well, I guess that makes sense. He wants to kill him, but I guess he can't because his sister's married to him. So he'll just ship him off.
When he got it, you saw the shadow of the fat guy behind him.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's the end of that deal.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Connie comes in and she's pissed. Now, this is your favorite scene, Amy, where Connie comes into Michael about him killing her husband, and you thought it was the best acting.
Pretty much any scene that she's in is the worst. She was okay at the wedding.
Yeah, she did fine.
That was it.
Yeah, right. I was thinking about this. He's like, take her upstairs, get her a doctor. And I was like, okay, in the fucking 40s, what's that mean? What does that mean? Like,
does that mean to tranquilize her?
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. I like,
yeah.
What does that mean? A guy comes over and gives her a shot of some shit and she wakes up in 3 days?
Wonderful. Can someone get me a doctor?
Exactly. Maybe that was it, right? They would come and knock you out and you either fought it off in your sleep or you died.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. Like, she knows I had her husband killed. We need to get her a doctor.
Get her a doctor, right?
How that works out.
Right.
Dr. Kevorkian.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Kevorkian.
What? You want a pork Ian?
Weird.
Your guitar tech or the guy from Lava Cantina?
Yeah, Gary, my guitar. Sorry, Derek.
Porque know both.
Oh God, I fucking hate myself.
Mm.
Here we go, guys.
All right. This one time. This one time, I'll let you ask me about my affairs.
Oh, good.
Neat.
What a relief.
Yeah.
I guess we both need a drink, huh? Come on.
Yeah, at least she's wanting to fucking get him a drink and shit. Here you go. Watch this look back in there. And The Godfather Part 2.
So, Jarrett, you're the only one who's seen The Godfather Part 2.
Yeah.
Out of all of us, right?
Yeah.
So, since the odds are good that we're not going to watch that.
Yeah.
where does it pick up? Like immediately after this, or years into the future? Or
if I'm being completely honest, I don't really remember. I know it would come back super fast, but I will tell you that the second one is also like really, really acclaimed.
It's the third one that's shit, right?
They say that. I remember enjoying it. I remember it being. I think maybe people didn't like it because they're trying to wrap stuff up and things like that. Not real sure, but I remember liking all three of them. But you really should watch the second one. Honestly, I think you should watch the second one just so that you can say that you've seen it, because this is a trilogy that is. This is going to be around in 100 more years. You know, people are going to still watch this shit. They really will. And so while it's fresh in your head, but again, I would watch all three of them just so that you can say that you have. But I would have to watch 2 again, which Casey doesn't know this, but that's our Saturday night, so she's stoked about that.
Yeah, I when this got done and the credits started rolling, even after sitting there for 3.5 hours with breaks and whatever, I was like, I need to know where this story goes next.
You need to know what happens, right? And I really do think that you should. So I will say that that Connie is a player in the second one. You know, Diane Keaton's character is more, you know, it's you know, but again, it's definitely Al Pacino's movie. And I believe that's pretty much the same for the rest, but you know, worth checking out. Let's recap here. I am really glad that we watched this. I'm glad it won. I would have been happy watching Casino, and I think maybe Casino might have been even more appealing to especially to Amy and Casey.
I love this movie.
But I was about to ask you, baby. Oh, what did you think about this movie?
I loved it. I really did. I liked the setup. I liked the visuals. I liked the character development. Fucking can't stand Diane Keaton. Can't believe she's in more movies ever.
Yeah, I will say that I thought that just, you know, I felt like you asked questions on this one more than you do on other ones, and like you were invested in the characters and things like that, which is on a 3-hour movie is not easy. I was saying earlier today, to me, these kind of movies, I never really know anybody's name. So it's like Game of Thrones. Everything's context clues. So like, I gotta be, you know, it's the fat guy. It's the guy that did the guy with the eyebrows, and this guy, you know, whatever. Cause I still, to this day, I watched all of Game of Thrones. I don't know anybody's name. Amy,
that's tough.
Amy. So, even after going back and talking about it, what do you think?
I think I kind of enjoy it. I won't watch it again.
Yeah.
It was still a little bit boring for me.
Sure.
But I like the acting. I think everybody did a good job except Connie got on my nerves. And like I said earlier, the little things with the movie, just the little nitpicky things.
Yeah.
Like the fight was awful.
Sure. Easy to get into that stuff 50 years later, isn't it?
And especially, to be honest, when you're bored.
Yeah.
When I'm just kind of bored with the story, I just look for little things. But overall, I liked it better than The Irishman, I think.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
and Eric,
just because of the classic.
Eric, your final analysis?
No, I thought this one was really good. I actually pulled my phone out because I thought it might be an interesting exercise. We have watched 5 of these now. And just to try to figure out which one you liked the best. And if you recall, we did Goodfellas first. Then we did A Bronx Tale. We did Donnie Brasco.
We didn't
do Bronx Tale.
We didn't do Bronx Tale. So
no, sorry.
Can't tell anymore.
All right, hold on. But yeah, hold on. So let's all vote on the 4, right?
What were they? Goodfellas?
Donnie
Brasco.
Yeah.
Irishman.
And
The Departed.
The Departed.
And this one.
Yeah. So we were gonna do 6, but
I'm glad you said that because I looked at the calendar and went, Bronx Tale. Why am I not remembering anything about this film?
So I got about 20 minutes into cutting the clips for Bronx Tale. I was hooked. I was looking forward to finishing it.
I got to tell you guys something about the Bronx Tale. I actually took Casey to the Broadway play right when it came out. There's the Bronx Tale has mob stuff in it but it's not just a mob movie.
It's like a race issue.
There's so much to it.
Love
I
story.
suggest, I really, really do suggest, and you know what? I'll just put it in later on when we're not doing this thing. But I think A Bronx Tale, it is one of my favorite movies of all time. And one of the things that's great about it. De Niro is in it, but he's not a mobster. He's a bus driver. And, this whole story is about
mobster bus driver.
No. But it is just a really, really great, great, great movie. But okay. So, all 4 of us are going to vote. All 5 of us are going to vote on, our favorite of the ones that we watched. So Amy says The Departed.
Yep.
Yep.
I would say The Departed and The Godfather would be tied for me.
Okay. Sean? Jonathan?
They're different.
Irishman, hands down.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
For me, this would be a tie between The Godfather and Donnie Brasco.
I get it. I
barely remember the Goodfellas or Donnie Brasco anymore.
So here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to base it on. I think that The Godfather, out of all of them, is a fucking masterpiece. I get it. I think just the way that the soundtrack blends into it and the beauty of the scenes and all that. Fucking great story, all of that. But Goodfellas is a movie that I could watch over and over and over and over again, and I have. So I guess it's only fair that I pick that because I don't see myself sitting down and watching any of the other ones over and over again.
And I think that's a good point, Jarrett, because when I obviously came into doing this, not much of a movie watcher, hadn't seen most of these, but if you're not a critic and you're not a film student, then kind of the bar that you set for yourself is, could I watch this again and still enjoy it?
I think it's important for us to remember that we're not movie critics. And I think, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think that's an important thing for you to say. We're not. I mean, we're dudes that are watching movies. Sorry, dudes. And
no problem, bro.
Oh, fuck.
Roadhouse.
But sincerely, like, we're here to have a conversation about a movie that people like or whatever that, so I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think that is one thing that I've tried to really, really get through on the show is like, look, it doesn't fucking matter what I say. Like, most of the time I'm just talking shit anyway. Right.
Yeah. I mean, but I think that's the threshold that we have to look at all of these things through.
Yeah.
Because, people give me shit still about not liking Beetlejuice and thinking that that's horrible. I would never watch that ever again.
Sure.
I don't see any value to watching that.
But you weren't a kid. It was whenever you saw it.
Right.
That's
Totally. But I think we just, like I said, if you're not a critic and you're not a film student, then which of these films could you watch over and over? I'm not sure I could with The Godfather, although I do think it was probably the best film out of the 5 that we watched.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think that's also a great way to rank it. Okay, here we go. Last thing that I'll ask you guys. I love this, by the way.
favorite color on 3. Was that not it?
No.
Okay.
So also we saw some great acting in this. We saw Al Pacino in 3 of these movies.
All of them.
De Niro in several. You saw Pesci in a couple. You saw a lot of actors, a lot of great actors.
Yeah. Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, Leo as well. Yeah, great one. All right. Best performance by an actor in you have to pick an actor in one of these movies. Best performance by an actor. You're not allowed to count 2 performances. You got to say, okay, this guy nailed it in this movie. Okay. Oh, you going to go first?
I think I have one.
Okay, go.
De Niro in The Irishman.
Yep. I think that's a fucking
It wasn't my
great one.
favorite movie, but the acting was incredible.
Yeah.
I think I know yours, Jarrett.
Okay.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Yours is going to be Al Pacino in The Irishman.
That is Okay, that's a good guess, but I'm not saying yet. What is yours?
Oh, I liked Al Pacino in The Godfather. I really did.
In The Godfather.
I liked the development.
Yep. Okay. Sean.
So I fucking hate this movie. I think it's probably the biggest piece of shit we've seen since Flight of the Navigator. But
Flight of the Navigator. You can't compare this to Flight of the Navigator.
it's horrible. It is fucking horrible. But Al Pacino, his growth from the beginning as just a soldier coming home to the end was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Pacino in this.
Okay, I need 1,000 fucking Jarrett Goes to the Movies podcast listeners to fucking go crazy on Sean about that statement, just like they did for me hating Beetlejuice.
You think we have 1,000 listeners? What's wrong with you?
We actually have way more than
joking. It was a joke.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, my lord.
I still get shit for that, and this motherfucker says
in front of family again.
That was good.
I don't know if you're going to have so many people come to your rescue. And plus, that was like the worst episode we've ever had.
All right, Eric.
Everybody was on fire.
I thought Al Pacino in Donnie Brasco was the best. I think there was a humanity to it.
Okay.
That just kind of, he was a working man.
I did
and
like.
What's that?
I did like that too. I forgot about that.
That he was toiling away, and he always thought that the day might come, and the kind of juxtaposition between all the dreams that you had when you got into it versus what the reality of it is. I think that performance is the best for me.
I do agree. That was a really great one. I'll say this. I didn't really know. I'd never seen Scarface, never seen Godfather, never seen most of these movies. I didn't really have a lot of Al Pacino like knowledge in general. And I think it's safe to say that he's, obviously one of the best actors ever, sure. Hands down ever. And I wouldn't have been able to really confidently say that. I would say people say that, but I've never really having seen it. Like I fucking get it. Look how, 50 years ago to just last year. It's insane.
That's crazy.
What an amazing actor.
Way to go.
Runner up for me, De Niro in The Irishman. I literally could watch that character forever. I literally could. I all I wanted to do was know more. That and and that's what he does.
That would be my second as well.
If I had it pictures, would you have picked what I said? I feel like sometimes you just rebel.
No. The reason that I didn't pick what you said was as I was going to pick him in the Donnie Brasco. Al Pacino in Donnie Brasco, to me, just this underdog gangster who found this like hope. He found this like great white hope guy that like, hey, like I'm going to make you, which is going to make me kind of thing. Like I'm going to bring you up and you're going to be the thing. And just, all of that and how much he cared about him and how much he gave up for him. And you felt it. You really, 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 really wanted it to be that.
He was the most complex out of any of the characters we saw in any of these films.
And had been through as much. He had killed 28 fucking people.
Still couldn't.
Yeah.
The chat room is voting Michael Keaton and Beetlejuice.
Okay. Interesting. But I will say that Casey is right. I watched The Irishman, and every time Al Pacino was on the camera, I would just be like, see, he doesn't do this. Like, he doesn't do these things. But the reason I didn't pick that is because I had already had him in the other one. And I wanted to give a shout out to De Niro. Honestly, I wish I could pick Ray Liotta, too, because I think Ray Liotta in Goodfellas.
Well, he'll be forever preserved in a laughing meme.
Yeah, so, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Jarrett, you're really discounting, as my friend Adam says, Gene Hackman in The Godfather.
Shit. You said it, you got me to say it.
What a thrilling performance.
Fucking love it. All right.
Then what did you say, Gene?
Wilder.
Wilder, yes.
Let's
check the email box. Email us at jarrettgoestothemovies@gmail.com.
Also, Sean, this just in. How am I playing this voicemail?
Also, Sean, there's
I'm
nothing
going to put
in
the
my...
Dropbox link. Dropbox.
Okay, thank you. Also, he doesn't have a mailbag.
His page probably needs to be refreshed or.
Okay, I'll refresh it.
I said
Okay,
his
I'll
page
refresh
probably
it.
needs to be.
Okay, I'll refresh it.
I wish y'all wouldn't fight.
Sean, will you start putting the actually?
No, because I'm just pissed because I know that Sean is gonna get zero slack for saying that The Godfather was a fucking piece of shit movie.
But yeah, but like, look at him.
But yet I've ate
You like
6
the
months of people's bullshit about saying that a bullshit piece of shit movie was a bullshit piece of
Sean,
shit movie.
yell at us. That's why.
Yeah, look at him.
Look. Here's the thing. I took that whole thing with a grain of salt anyway. I mean, I think I'll be honest.
Have you said any movies were shitty that everyone else liked?
Me? No.
You're just like an agreeable dude.
I just like movies. I think movies are good. I don't think I've ever.
I think Never Ending Story is a piece of fucking hot
What
garbage.
I mean, but that is so fucking weird because it's so great.
I
Really?
only
Did you
liked
see
it
that
because I
fucking
liked it as a
asshole
kid.
sink into that stuff with that horse? It's so stupid.
Anyways.
Anyway. Hold on. We got a voicemail. Let's listen to this one. Let's see.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Buying you time while things got refreshed
I
and
appreciate
boxes
that.
got dropped.
I have it now. So
well, just listen to this voicemail.
Okay.
Going for Soup Podcast. I heard you were doing a show today about the Godfather movie. And so I called you on this, the day of a global pandemic, to make you a voicemail that you can't refuse. Jared and Casey, I welcome you to the Corleone family.
Yay!
With open arms.
Sweet.
And perhaps the three of us can start our own podcast together. We can call it Bowling for Meatballs. Do you get it? Although, I must warn you, Jared, that your producer and consigliere, Sean, is actually an informant for the FBI. And I've heard through close personal sources that he was the mastermind behind the band Creed. And for that, he should be taken care of immediately. And by taken care of, I mean murdered violently. And then there's Eric Cadillo, who somehow is part of a podcast about movies, when the only movie he's ever seen is Air Bud. Eric, I'm very excited for the next podcast you're starting, where you'll be reviewing Kids Bop albums. And finally, Iowa Vinny. Vinny, if you're listening to this, you're actually my third cousin, 43 times removed. And Vinny, if you're still in Iowa, get the hell out of there, man. What are you doing? Everyone knows the worst Italian food is in Iowa. Come back to New York, and I'll take you to a Slipknot concert. And so, with that, I leave you. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer. Bye-bye.
That's pretty fucking good.
That was really good.
P.S. God damn it! It's an absolute atrocity. An entire embarrassment to the entire Corleone family. And if I hear you speak one word about the Godfather Part 3, I will personally ensure that you are sleeping with the fishes.
How about
I
now?
don't trust it.
Yeah, same.
No, it's done. I don't know who this person is. They didn't leave a name. I don't know the phone number.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's really cool.
That was
Was
great.
it not Vinny? I thought it was Vinny.
No, I thought it was Woody.
I think it's Woodrow.
Yeah, I really did think it was Woody, but
well, whoever it is, their phone number is not in my phone book, and I have all those people. So
I fucking love it. Love it. Thank you guys.
Let's check the email box. Email us at jaredgoestothemovies@gmail.com.
You know, a bunch of cocks slapped in my face.
Hey guys, how's life? Hopefully everyone is doing great and hope you are all staying safe and healthy. Hope everyone's doing okay and being amazing. All the episodes from last week with the podcast have been really helping me through my struggles with being quarantined and me struggling with my demons. But everything is getting better now thanks to Jarrett. Jarrett, seriously, man, nothing makes me smile more than your laugh and when you like my stuff. Just having a great time doing what you do, and whenever I think of you, I just can't help but smile. No matter what is coming in my day, I always know it will be a good one because at the end of it, I get to see you guys, and your stage at shows have been unbelievable. Eric, damn it. Eric, I know I haven't given you a ton of respect these past couple of streams, but seriously, man, you are doing a fantastic and amazing job at being a great co-host and being an awesome dad. I wish you were my daddy. I know that I overreacted in my last message, and I'm sorry for being an idiot. However, if there's any chance I come to Texas to see you do trivia, can I come? I promise I will never walk up to you and claim you're wrong while we're at trivia. If anything, I will still walk up to you and shake your hand and tell you you're wrong. And since it will be cool to meet you, then I would go right over to Jarrett and his crew and shake their hands. And then we're all shaking hands after the virus ends, of course.
We're fist bumping, actually.
Yeah, elbow bumping. Sean, did you have something you wanted to say, Jarrett?
I go ahead. I just didn't know what to do.
Okay, Sean,
off dudes like this from different angles.
Amazing job at editing this podcast. Casey, I'm not falling for you anymore because I have a girlfriend now. She lives in Canada.
He already revoked that in the chat room today.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he is falling for you anymore because he has a girlfriend. She's from Niagara Falls, but you wouldn't meet her because she goes to a different school.
They have no morals in Canada.
Sean said I shouldn't leave her out in the sun because of the heat and she could explode because she is inflatable. But I promise you, she's real to me. But I think you're doing a great job at making people smile, making sure everyone is having a good time on the live stream. Amy, I know I don't know you, but I think you're an amazing person. Thanks again, guys, for the awesome laughs on the show. And hopefully there will be more coming soon. Stay safe and take care, everyone. Vinny Cataldo.
Vinny, dude, what a great... And also, by the way, I believe we read
Boy, what a journey.
We also read a Vinny Cataldo email on this week's Rockstar Dad Show. It might be next week's. But just, here's the thing. Someone that takes the time out of their day to sit down and put thoughts onto paper, because, we all think shit, that's a big deal. And Vinny, I want you to know, man, that I don't take that shit for granted. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I am happy to bring joy to your life and to whomever else is paying attention. And I do agree. I think Eric is doing an awesome job at being a co-host, and I could not have picked
I agree.
a better person. And Sean obviously is Sean does more than you guys will ever know and more than I can explain. But he certainly knows how much I appreciate him, and I will always make that known. And Casey, you know how much I love you. And had you not been on this show, we would not even be doing this anymore. So you guys can thank Casey for that. And then Amy, of course, the hilarity and the one who saved us from just me and Casey sitting in here in this room,
Staring at each other.
Like we have been.
Yeah, like we have been. And but you know what? We're a big family here on Jarrett Goes to the Movies, and we're super glad that you guys tuned in today. You guys can connect with us. We're at JarrettGoesToTheMovies.com. We have a Facebook, it's Jarrett Goes to the Movies Facebook group, fan page. It's cool as shit. Jarrett Goes to the Movies fan page. We're on Instagram at Jarrett Movies, and on Patreon, you can support the show. I can't say enough about how much every dollar means. And again, I know it's a weird time, but if you got a few bucks, come on, man, be a part of shit. We're releasing some really cool stuff each week that just goes to the Patreon people. Jarrett Goes to the Movies at gmail.com is the way that you email us. And if you want to leave an amazing voicemail like the one we just got, 714-451-6029. 714-451-6029. And our shows come out on Friday, and we post them again on Tuesdays. Please share that shit. Josh Foley, Barry Ferguson, Bobby Farrow. Is that a funny one? Okay. Jimbo Simpson, Travis Shivers, Vinny Cataldo, Rob Popplestone, Joey Bishop, Simon Rogers, Robert Newsom, Katie Braley, Gage Strickland, Ray Elliott, Jared Spear, Taylor Moose, Carrie Lynn, Abner, Nick Brignoni, Greg Lee, Chris Pulse. Those are the ones that shared it this last week. Why not share it and hear your name next week? Thank you guys so very much for being here. For Eric, Casey, Sean, and of course, Amy, I'm Jarrett, and we'll see you down the road.
I don't ever want to see you eat a banana again.
Leave that in.